Miss Richard, you have a problem.
Yes.
You had an on-again, off-again relationship with this gentleman.
Yes.
And then one day, a baby was on the way.
He would say, "Oh, baby, you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you." When I told him I was pregnant, he said that he wasn't the father and that he didn't take any responsibility.
Hayes' baby, and he owes her money. He says he owes her nothing.
Order, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 328 on the calendar in the matter of Richard versus Hayes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Oh, Miss Richard, you have a problem.
Yes.
You had an on-again, off-again relationship with this gentleman.
Yes.
According to these papers, mostly off.
Yes.
But for a fleeting moment while it was on, you got yourself pregnant. Now it's off, right? What are you laughing about? Shouldn't do that by yourself, right? And to add insult to injury, he owes you money.
Yes.
So, why don't you tell me what he owes you money for?
He owes me around $660. In January, we got an apartment together under the pretense that he was going to get a salary job. He had been working for his brother, and it was kind of a partnership relationship. So if they didn't get paid, they didn't get paid.
How long had you been together up until that point?
Around 2 years.
And were you living together before that?
For about 3 months prior to that, but not before that.
Had you discussed getting married?
A few times.
Did you do the talking or did he do the talking?
I guess it depended on the situation. You know, when I felt like I wanted to, I would talk to him, and usually when he would screw up, then he would talk to me about it.
What do you mean when he would screw up?
When, you know, when he had done something wrong and knew he was at fault, then he would say, "Oh, baby, you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to be with you forever. Let's get married."
He actually used the M word.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Spending the rest of my life with you, wanting to be with you together, I've heard a lot since I've been sitting here. The M word I haven't heard so much. So you took this new apartment.
Yes.
You both signed the lease.
Yes.
And what happened?
We got 2 weeks free rent because we moved in the middle of January. And then it was coming time for rent to be due at the beginning of February. He had not gotten a salary position with his brother or with any other company. And I told him that he either needed to get the rent money together or get out. And then I said, "No, I don't even want to bother with that. Either you need to leave or I need to leave, and we need to settle up on the lease."
Was it the financial frustration that finally
that
got
was
to you?
part of it, and just he wasn't owning up to his responsibility. I would have never moved in the larger and more expensive apartment if he had just told me, "No, Amy, I'm not gonna get a salary position. I'm gonna keep working for my brother." Then at least I would have known, and it would have been up to me at that time if I wanted, you know, to move on further or drop it there. But
what kind of work do you do?
I'm a loan officer for a mortgage company.
Mm-hmm. So either he was going to leave or you were going to leave.
Right.
What happened?
And I had decided that I would leave. I went and got my things, and we agreed that we were going to come in a few days later and sign papers for him to take over responsibility of the lease. Then, prior to when we were supposed to go in and sign the papers, they called me and said he had moved all his things out, which was untrue because we had already decided that I was going to leave and he was going to take over the lease. I even told him I would pay that half for that month where he could find a roommate, and he said there were too many painful memories and he just couldn't stay there.
So $660 is half of the rent for February?
Well, we had to break the lease. So they charged us that month's rent, plus they charged us another month's rent, you know, for breaking the lease, plus 2 months utility fees. And I have all the fees that they...
So it all comes to $660?
His half.
And what else do you say he owes you for?
And then I loaned him $450. Later on that year, he said he needed to pay some other kind
Well, when did this happen?
In January.
Of '97?
Yes.
So after you broke up and after everything else, you lent him more money?
Yes.
Amy!
Yeah. Well, we were on speaking terms at the time and on a friendship basis.
So what did he need this money for?
He said he needed to pay lawyer's fees or court fees for some other case he was going to.
What other case?
I think it might have been a custody battle. I'm not sure.
And you gave him the money?
Yes.
Do you have proof that you gave him the money?
I have a check that I wrote out to cash. I didn't write it to him.
Well, somebody had to cash it.
That he cashed at my bank.
Oh. Mm-hmm. And when did you find out you were pregnant?
In August.
So after you broke up in January, you were a little more than just friends.
Yeah, later on. Yes, ma'am.
But then you broke up again?
Well, before I found out I was pregnant, we were trying to work things out. And prior to me being pregnant, I had taken a trip, and I told him, he knew I was going, but I didn't call him before I left, and he was upset over that. So when I told him I was pregnant, he said that he wasn't the father and that he didn't take any responsibility.
Well, you'll be able to establish that if you have to after the baby's
Well,
born.
later on he said he was, but...
In any event, later on,
Right.
you'll be able to do blood tests, and there won't be any issue with regard to that, if that's what you want.
Right.
Okay. I'm ready.
Prior to signing the new lease, we were going through some problems, and I asked Amy, I kept asking over and over, if she's not comfortable with it, let's don't sign this new lease. She kept saying that she was, so therefore we went and signed the new lease.
What do you mean? That's all very soft.
What?
You were going through some problems. You mean emotional problems? You were fighting? What do you mean?
She wasn't comfortable where we were at. I don't think she was comfortable with me. Just things of that nature, and I kept asking her, you know, before we make this next move, I want you to be comfortable. And she kept assuring me that she was. So we made this next move, and before I moved out, she moved out. In the same day, or it may have been the next day, I'm not sure, she moved back in. So then, the next day, we had this discussion where more or less she kicked me out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Why would I just give him $450? He said, yes, I will pay you back.
I don't even remember getting the money.
And later today,
And I told her that she needed to bug off. That's just my words. Because that was my son. I carried him 9 months, and she had nothing to say.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amy Wishard claims Ken Hayes owes her for a loan and a broken lease. Ken says he doesn't owe the soon-to-be mother of his child anything.
Let's make it easy. If a relationship doesn't work out, this doesn't look like the kind of lady, and you've known her a long time, who conned you into going into another apartment in order to throw you out so that 2 weeks later she'd have to move out. That doesn't make sense. She's an intelligent woman, right?
Yes, she is.
So what she was hoping for was that your relationship would work. And it seems to me, from what you told me, sir, that you both have tried to make it work even after that February when you were no longer together, right?
Right.
So she shouldn't have to bear the full financial responsibility for the apartment and for the lease and breaking the lease, right? That sounds fair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Now let's talk about this $450, this check for cash for $450. What'd you need the money for?
As looking back on it, Your Honor, we're in a relationship, and in a relationship, you exchange gifts, money, things of that nature. I never looked at it as being a loan. I have to pay it back.
What did you need the money for, sir, is my question.
I don't recall. I don't even remember getting the money.
Were you involved in some sort of litigation in
No.
April?
No.
Do you have a child?
Yes.
How old is your child?
She's 5 years old.
Had you been to court with the child's mother
No.
around April?
No.
Were you having problems with visitation?
No.
Well then, what did you need the money for, sir?
I don't recall. I don't even remember getting the money.
Your Honor, he came to my place of work. I was working at a bank at the time. Amy, I need to borrow $450. I promise you I'll pay you this back in the next couple days. I said, Ken, are you sure? That's a lot of money. I can't just be throwing around $450. Why would I just give him $450? He said, yes, I will pay you back. And when I spoke to him about the incident with the rent, I said, and you owe me $450, and he said, I haven't paid you back for that yet? Now, why would he say that if it was a gift? He knew it was a loan.
When is your baby due?
May.
Are you still working with your brother?
Yes.
You finally making a living?
Yeah. Thank you.
When this baby comes, and I assume when you are satisfied beyond any shadow of a doubt that this baby is yours, you're going to pay support for the baby?
Yes.
Great. We're going to start now by filling back up her little nest egg for money that you owe her. That's $660 and $450 that she loaned to you in April of 1997. Grand total is $1,110. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties on Davidson versus Davidson. Step forward, please.
Banker Bobby Davison is suing her ex-husband, Louis Davison, for half of their son's funeral costs.
You folks have been divorced for a long time. How many years?
30, approximately.
And sadly, your son was killed in an automobile accident when he was in his 30s.
Yes.
How old was he? 30?
There's 36.
And according to your complaint, Ms. Davison, your former husband agreed to pay for half of your son's funeral expenses.
That's correct.
And then he reneged on that agreement and, according to him, gave you $1,000 towards the expenses. Is that right?
Yes.
He has a defense that is interesting. So why don't you tell me about the arrangements that you started to make for your son and how your former husband was involved?
Well, at the time that I received word that my son had passed, and we went to the funeral home to make the arrangements for the burial, it was agreed on that we would go 50-50 on the funeral expenses.
Well, according to these papers, let me stop you for a moment.
Sure.
You agreed in the funeral director's office that each of you would be responsible for half the bill. But then, according to these papers, the funeral director said that since your son was married, you had no right legally to make the arrangements because even though you're his parents, you were not his next of kin. His wife had to approve the agreement. Is that right? There was another meeting with the funeral director.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And who was present at that meeting?
His wife, my ex's wife.
That's you.
Yes, ma'am. And myself.
You weren't there.
No, I was not.
Why weren't you there?
I was working.
Okay, so you sent your wife
So
and
I
your
sent
step.
my wife to represent me.
Fine. And what happened at that meeting?
Well, at that meeting is when the Mrs. Davison, Sue Davison, and Tammy and I went in to review the casket that we had picked out. Then Sue Davison said that we should change it to a wooden box, that her father was buried in a pine box, and why couldn't we bury it? And I told her that she needed to bug off. That's just my words. Because that was my son, I carried him 9 months, and she had nothing to say or do with my funeral arrangements that was being made. Because Tammy financially was not able to take care of the expenses, and it was up between my ex and myself.
So what happened?
So after a few choice words with Mrs. Davison, Sue Davison, she said that she would give Tammy $1,000, and Tammy was to do with that whatever she wanted to do with it. And so Tammy, in terms, handed it over to the mortician, and that was applied to the funeral expenses.
Is that pretty much the story, sir?
So far, yes.
And how much were the expenses in total?
I don't have exact total, but Mr. Davison's share would be $23,59.67.
Now, does that include the $1,000 that he gave you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So you've given him credit for that.
Yes,
so that
sir.
the funeral was
Approximately $6,000.
$6,500, $6,600.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Hopefully, when people come to court, they can reach some sort of resolution, even without somebody banging them over their heads.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bobby Davison wants her ex-husband, Louis Davison, to pay his share of their son's funeral costs. Louis says Bobby changed the arrangements at the last minute, making the funeral too expensive.
Okay, Mr. Davison. Initially, you agreed to share the expenses with your former wife. And now you said no. Tell me why, sir.
Okay, originally, if I could approach you and show you this, or somebody could show you this, that when we were talking to the mortician, or the gentleman who was making the arrangements, that when he found out that Tammy was still legally married to my son, that everything that we had done to that point was null and void.
Okay, may I see the paper that you have, sir?
Okay, and this is the original one that we had signed up to that point where he found out.
I'd like to see it, please.
Yeah, just take that now. That was the original form that we had signed.
Okay, so the total of what you originally agreed to was $36.31. Is that correct?
At that point, yes.
Now, Ms. Davison, the original agreement that your husband said, I will pay for half, was for $3,631. At your second meeting, you chose to spend $6,500, according to you.
Well, at the time, all the funeral expenses was supposed to be 50-50.
That's not what I'm asking you.
I know you're not, but that does not include an open and closing of the grave, which I had to go out and pay myself.
How much was it to open and close the grave?
$1,024.
Now, Mr. Davison, did you understand, sir, that there would be an additional cost to open and close the grave?
At that time, no, I did not.
Well, I'm going to ask you an interesting question, because this is more of a moral question than a legal one. If you had known, I don't want you to try to remove yourself from where you are right now, but if you had known at the time that to open and close the grave was going to cost $1,025, would you have agreed to pay for half of that?
I would agree to help, yes.
Okay. That still, Miss Davidson, brings the total to $4,600, not $6,500. He agreed to pay $36.31. So I believe that an argument can be made that you obligated yourself for the amount of $3,600. You only paid half of $3,600 or $1,800, and you only gave her $1,000, which means minimally you owe her $800 for the expenses of the funeral. The only thing that I want to ask you, Mr. Davison, the original amount that you agreed to contribute did not include the opening and closing of the grave. It was only for the funeral director. And I'm asking you if today you are prepared to contribute something towards the opening and closing of the grave.
Okay, if the circumstances at the time, if, right now, to answer your question,
You'll feel better if you say yes.
Well, there's no question I'd feel better, but that was not the problem.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Hopefully, when people come to court, they can reach some sort of resolution, even without somebody banging them over their heads. I think that morally, if not legally, you should be responsible for seeing to it that your son received an appropriate burial. And certainly that includes opening and closing the grave. That's what the cost was.
Yeah.
Okay? What you originally agreed to, I am going to portion in half. And I'm also going to portion half of the cost of internment to you because you've consented to do that, which I think is the right thing. You'll sleep better, Mr. Davison.
I haven't no problem sleeping.
You'll sleep better. So, Ms. Davison, I'm giving you a judgment in the amount of $1,327. Thank you. That's all.
If I was excused, you may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My husband's ex-wife, Bobby Davison, omitted my name and my 4 children, whom my husband and I have raised for 24 years, out of the obituary. We weren't included at all. Like 24 years didn't matter.
It was just an oversight if it was left out.
I hope I never see her again in my life.
Feelings is mutual.
He's a liar. He lies. He never, ever asked me for the money back. It was not a loan.
And now that their 4-year romance is over, he wants it back.
You don't dispute the fact that he gave you the money.
No, he gave it to me.
So he was nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever give him things? Did you ever give him money? Huh?
No.
No.
Joe Rimkus is suing his former girlfriend, 36-year-old waitress Barbara Beatty, for rent. Barbara is countersuing Joe for stealing jewelry, clothing, and money.
Order, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 462 on the calendar in the matter of Rimkus versus Beatty.
Thank you, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have seats, please.
Mr. Rimkus, your complaint alleges that you made a loan to the defendant of $1,575.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was during the term of a 4-year romantic relationship that you had. The money was to be used for some sort of moving expense.
Yes.
How much into the relationship did you make this loan?
Probably about 3 years into the relationship.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding the loan.
Well, Barbara lived in the northern part of the city with her children, and she lived with her sister and brother-in-law. She was always complaining to me that her brother-in-law mostly didn't treat her and her children the same as he did his own children. And I said, why don't you get your own house? And because you're paying him and you can do it on your own. So she said, could I help her out? And I said I would lend her the money. And it came to $1,575.
Did you make a payment plan with her?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Did you ever, while you were together, ask her for the money back?
Yes, well, I got her a job as a barmaid, and I said, this way you can pay me back my money. And she said, okay. And she just never paid anything.
Okay, let's hear your version of this story.
He's a liar. He lies. He never, ever asked me for the money back. It was not a loan.
You admit that he gave you $1,575.
Yes, he gave it to me.
Well, tell me about how it came about.
Well, it came about the same way that he said. I was living with my brother-in-law and my sister, and things just weren't too good there. My kids were getting treated like, not like part of the family, more like, you know, like outsiders, like they didn't want us there. And I told Joe that I wanted to move, but I didn't have the money. He said he would give me the money, and I don't have to worry about paying it back or anything like that.
Had he ever given you money before?
Yes.
When?
Oh, during our whole relationship.
Good. Tell me about when he gave you money
He
before.
would give me money to go shopping. He would give me money just for me to have money in my pocket.
So he was nice to you?
Mm-hmm.
And did he do that frequently?
Oh, yes.
How frequently? Once a week?
Once a week.
Just because you didn't have cash?
Right.
And you needed money, and he was a nice guy?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. When did you terminate your relationship with him?
He broke up with me in July of this year.
Mm-hmm. Now, who are you and what do you want to say?
I'm Janice. And
Janice what?
Henning.
You know about this specific transaction?
Oh, yes.
Well,
Yes.
tell me how you're related to either one of these people.
He is my friend for the last 15 years, and I had worked with Barbara before.
In what kind of establishment?
We work as bartenders.
Okay.
She had came in, she had told me the story about her brother-in-law and sister, that they just wasn't getting along and everything, and I wonder if Joe would lend me the money for security, because it's a lot of first month rent. So she said she was going to ask them, and she asked him to lend her the money for the security.
Were you there when she asked
Yes,
him?
I was. And he said, I'll write you a check for the security and the month rent, or the first and last month rent. It came to $1,575, and I was there.
Good. I believe you.
I was
I
there.
believe him, and I believe she said, can you lend me $1,575? I believe that. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Now, you say that you don't owe him any money, even if you did, even if this was a loan, because he broke into your house?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that...
Are you claiming that he broke into your house and took property?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Tell me about it.
My father was sitting on the porch one day. He drives by.
So, were you home?
No.
Where's your father?
My father's on the porch.
No, I don't. He's not on the porch. I have no porch here. Where is he today?
He's home.
Well, you can't tell me what your father says that he saw.
Okay.
Did you witness him take anything?
Well, I went up into my room and I noticed that my closet door was open, my drawers were open. After he
You
had
have a
left.
witness here who saw him take
No,
any property
no, I
from
don't.
your house?
No.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
But after
So-
we broke up, he wasn't nice anymore. He tried to beat me up twice. He beat him up.
Let me tell you something.
He extorted money from me. I gave him back the ring and a watch that he gave me that he said that would pay for, you know, the money he supposedly loaned me, which he didn't loan it to me. He gave it to me. He didn't ask me to pay it back or anything.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you ever give him things? Did you ever give him money? Huh?
No,
No.
I gave him things.
And later today,
Well, I was so hurt when she said that, because Ralph had left the store like it's the truth. You know, that's how I know Ralph was taking advantage of me.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joe Rimkus wants his former girlfriend, Barbara Beatty, to pay for back rent. Barbara wants Joe to pay for stealing her jewelry, clothing, and money.
Mr. Rimkus,
Yes, Your Honor.
she wouldn't know the truth
No.
if it came up and hit her
Oh,
in the
no.
face.
I have all the
Okay?
empty jewelry
She wouldn't know.
boxes to prove
She
it.
wouldn't know the truth because the first thing that she lied about was that she did not come to you and say, "Can you lend me the money for security deposit?"
I didn't.
Yes, you did. It might have
Your
been
Honor, I
a
did not.
convenient lapse of memory, but yes,
No.
you did. This man isn't suing you for all the cash that he gave you during the course of 4.5 years. Did you ever give him things? Did you ever give him money? Huh?
No, but
No.
I gave him things.
Listen, Mr. Rimkus,
Yes, ma'am.
keep your money in the bank.
Yes.
Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,575. That's all.
By his excuse, you may step out. Back to your right.
You're a liar. You're a liar, Joe, and you know it. You're a liar. You're a liar. You know you are.
You're a sneak,
No,
Barbie.
he said I'm not a sneak,
been a
Janice.
sneak
No,
since
I am not.
And now the next case.
Party's on Wiley versus Wiley. Step forward, please.
22-year-old Guy Wiley is suing his brother Ralph Wiley, 35, and his wife, Bonnie, for misusing his disability checks.
Well, this is a particularly sad family situation. You are Miss Wiley.
Yes. Yes.
And this is your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your brother.
Correct.
And this is your brother's wife,
Mm-hmm.
sister-in-law. According to your complaint, you will be speaking for your brother, unless
Yeah.
I need to speak for him.
Yes.
How old are you?
22.
Do you want to speak to me first? You want to try?
Yes. Yes,
According to your complaint, you receive Social Security disability.
yes, I do.
That's because you have some sort of learning disability.
Correct.
And how much do you receive a month from Social Security?
Right now, $850. $850.
According to your complaint, there was a time when your brother was the payee for your Social Security.
Correct.
For about a year?
Approximately 2 years.
2 years.
Yes, since '95.
And you say that while he was the payee for your Social Security, he didn't pay certain of your bills.
Correct.
Now, was your brother living with you for a period of time? Is that what I understand?
Yes, he was.
And you say that you spent more than you received.
Yes, I did.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, there's a few things. For one, the living expenses alone, his rent incurred almost 8 of our his monthly installments.
Just a second. You know, let's try to keep it simple. You got all of his Social Security,
I'm getting to a
$850. For how long a period did you get the $850 a month?
It wasn't $850. It started out $730. It escalates every year.
Okay, so it started. For how long did you get his Social Security?
For 2 years, about 2 years, almost 2 years.
And was he living with you during that 2-year period or not?
Yes, he was.
And what did you use that money for?
To pay his living expenses.
Like what?
We living in a hotel. I was paying his hotel expenses week to week.
Were you all living in the same room?
No.
He had his own room.
And we had.
Okay. So you were living in a hotel for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was his hotel bill when you were living there?
It was $175 a week.
And how long did you stay in the hotel?
Probably about 8 months, 6 months. It was almost a year.
Let me ask you this question, because this is going to be very difficult. I'm not going over a 2-year period to see whether you paid more or less. It's very hard to support somebody fully. You understand that, Miss Wiley, on $730 a month.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're not talking about a lot of money here. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go through some of these bills with you, sir. There's a $937 phone bill. Do you know anything about that?
Not really. I think she probably can answer that one a little better than
Mainly, most of the bills was for him calling my mom and my dad. They live in Vegas, and if you look at the bill, there's a lot of Vegas calls because at that time, none of the other family members were dealing with Guy. So the only family he clinged to was my family, and he called.
Just a minute, whose phone was this?
This was his phone in his own room.
Okay,
he
so you
picked up the phone and he called.
So you
my
had a
mom.
phone in your room?
His own room.
You had a phone in your room?
Yes.
And over what period of time did these $937 bill build up?
They build up practically sometimes that she used to have me call her mom for.
Oh, no, over how many months? Do you know?
About almost a year.
Okay, now what about the medicine?
His medicine was being paid. I have the
insurance
receipt,
was
and
taking
we
care
have
of his
witnesses
medicine.
here.
UCLA stopped taking care of it when he started being irresponsible as far as making his appointments. They took offense to that, and they didn't think he was that serious about that.
Because we used
had
to
the
let him
insurance
drive our
paid.
car
He drove
to the hospital. Some of his visits at first started out, Guy was going himself because none of the family members would come pick him up and take him to the hospital. And our best friend right here, Dennis, when he was staying at the Dare UN, would come pick him up, take him to the hospital. I would pick him up when his appointment was done. We would go to the pharmacy together. We would get his prescription, and we would come home. I have the receipts here.
Okay, now stop for 1 second. Miss Wiley, where were you when this was all going on?
Ralph and I were not getting along. Okay. Ralph and I were not getting along. Guy was with my sister Selma at first. Selma told him, because he wanted Ralph to be his payee, because he loved Ralph, all that stuff. And so my sister asked me, are you sure you want to go with Ralph? Are you sure you want to do that? So all the family members asked Guy, are you sure you want to go with Ralph? Ralph and I, the family got along real bad, okay? Me and Ralph just wasn't even on speaking terms. So when I told Guy, my hands are untied, I'm through. You want to deal with him and her? I don't want to be bothered. So I stepped out of it. Because I got a bad health myself, so I didn't want to be bothered with all that mess.
I just want to know where you were at all this time.
I have lupus and kidney failure, okay? I didn't need the stress and everything.
So that you can't have your brother live with you?
No, he wanted to live with Ralph. Shh. He wanted to live with Ralph.
He wanted to live with Ralph?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know what that's called? That's called money laundering in business. It may have only been $25, $30, $50, $80, but that's what it's called.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Guy Wiley says his brother, Ralph Wiley, and sister-in-law, Bonnie Wiley, misused his disability checks.
Guy.
Yes.
Tell me why you left Ralph.
Okay, reason why I left Ralph because really I was in the store. Bonnie had got mad at Ralph and turned around and told me, you know where all your money's going? Your whole check? On UPS orders in the store.
Did I say that?
Shut up! I don't want to hear you. He's talking.
And I was so hurt when she said that because Ralph had left the store like it's the truth. You know, that's how I know Ralph was taking advantage of me. She come to me telling me, your brother's taking your money. He's doing this with his check. He's paying for UPS orders. This is what she said about him. You know, I be trying not to believe it because he come to me telling me, I'm not taking your money, guy. Don't listen to her. You know, but I can't help but because you keep putting it in my head. You know, Ralph is...
So you got angry.
So I got angry, and we was in the store. So I decided that, you know, I didn't want to settle working in the store no more.
So you were working in your brother's store?
Yeah, for only really $10 a day. And I told him I decided, you know, because he had me sleeping in the store a couple nights. And
what kind of store do you have, sir?
Sporting goods stuff.
Okay. And your brother was working in your store?
Yeah, I guess you can call it that.
What do you mean you guess you could call it that? He said he was working there every day.
He was there.
Doing what?
He
Taking care of the stock?
he's
taking care of the stock?
You want to say he worked? No, he wasn't taking care of the stock.
Cleaning up?
Answer the phone.
Answer the phone.
Just a minute. Answer the phone?
Yeah.
And he was there every day?
He wasn't there every day. He was late a lot of times. Yeah, he was a big help to me, and I'm not denying that.
Good. How much did you pay him?
It varied. I mean, as we made money, he made money. It depended. There was no, I said hourly salary.
Why not? He's your brother. That doesn't mean he's a slave. That means if he's working in your store, he gets an hourly wage. He gets minimum wage. He gets whatever the minimum wage was when he was working there in '96. He should have been paid. If he's not in your store, he could be working someplace else.
Well, that's the thing. He couldn't work anywhere else because of his inabilities. I was trying to assist him during that time.
Sir, listen to me. There are a lot of places where someone who has a learning disability or who has some disability can work, even if it's for minimum wage. You're not doing him a favor. He was doing you a favor. He was working in your store. You weren't paying him. That's not fair. That's not reasonable. Put your hand down. Guy, you have to understand that some of the money that your brother got from Social Security was spent on you. You know, whether it was on your food. I mean, you certainly were fed, right? You may not have liked it, but you were fed. You had a roof over your head, right? So some of the money was spent on you, but you took advantage of him. You can't have him work in your store without paying him.
He was paid, Judge.
Oh, just a second. I'm sorry. I think that you ought to be quiet. You know, we don't need anybody stirring up the pot. You're a pot stirrer. You're supposed to give him a set amount of money. He's an employee if he comes into the store. Now, if you said to me you weren't getting any money from him, from Social Security, and he was working in your store to sort of pay for his keep in your home, that's a different story. But you were getting anywhere from $700 and change a month to $800 a month for him. And in addition to that, you give him a couple of bucks whenever you felt like it. What do you mean? What are you shaking your head? No, madam.
Can I tell you, that's not, I have checks here where I would write to Guy, and Guy didn't get $10 a day, okay, Judge Judy. He got money. We gave him, even if we didn't make anything in the store, we paid Guy.
Listen, that's what happens when you have a business, when you have somebody who works.
But he got paid, okay?
Show me. Show me the checks made out to him.
These were checks made out to him, and I wrote them to him. He went to the bank, and he bought them back.
Show him.
I paid him, and I took money out of there, and I paid Guy.
Just a minute. What do you mean?
I wrote him a check. He cashed a check for me, okay?
Okay.
Say if the check was $80, I would give Guy $40. And no, this is just money. This had nothing to do with what Ralph was paying him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So what you're telling me is you would write checks to him for him to put in his account.
No.
He would come back and give you the cash. That's what you just said to me. And you would give him some of the cash.
Right.
You know what that's called? That's called money laundering. That's called money laundering in business. It may have only been $25, $30, $50, $80, but that's what it's called. You're giving him money to put in his account, right? And when he cashes a check, you were told to cash the check and bring back the cash, correct?
Yes.
And when you cashed the check from your account, because this was made out to you, you gave your sister-in-law the money, and she said, here's $10 for you, here's $20 for you. Is that what happened?
Yes, what she did.
Is that what happened? I heard enough. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,531. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I feel good. I got at least some of my money from him for all the stuff he did to me, pain and suffering. And I feel the judge did the right decision.
I mean, if he wasn't paid money, I mean, he was giving use of the car where I had to insure the car that he drove. He partied as well. I mean, there was things removed out of the store that I never questioned, just let him have. I have no hard feelings for him. If that's what the judge ruled, that's the way the judge ruled.
We grew up together, we've been through thick and thin.
But these boyhood friends parted company when one of them won $500,000.
After that, I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head. Your Honor,
Step up here,
he's
sir.
lying, Your Honor.
Just a second. That's my strong suit, sir, to tell who's lying. What makes sense? Common sense.
John Harkness is suing his former best friend, 27-year-old printer Stephen Cutler, for a $3,000 loan. Stephen says John promised him the money after he won a huge settlement.
Order, all rise.
Thank you. Judge, this is number 388 on the calendar in the matter of Harkness versus Cutler. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, proceed.
Former friends
Correct.
fight over money.
Not correct.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's why we're here, sir, because this is
Correct.
a dispute over money.
Correct.
According to you, Mr. Harkness, you lent Mr. Cutler $3,000.
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Cutler says it was a gift.
Correct.
So why don't you tell me, sir, how did this loan come about?
Well, in the beginning of 1995, Stephen was living in a house. He was renting a room. He couldn't live at home. His father, they kicked him out of the house, and he couldn't live at home. He had nowhere else to go, and he was also getting kicked out of this new apartment that he had gone into. And he came to me and said, you know, John, can you give me $5,000? I said, Stephen, you know, $5,000 is a lot of money. You know what I mean? I really can't give you $5,000. I said, if
What
you...
kind of work do you do that you had
Well,
thousands of dollars?
unfortunately, when I was younger, I had cancer, and I had gotten a settlement for it. And so when I was...
How did you get a settlement for having cancer?
Well, because I was misdiagnosed for not having it. And then I did have it, so it was a big, drawn-out thing. When I was 19, I got a settlement and put it away and invested it for my children.
How much did you get?
It was about $500,000. So
And Mr. Cutler, you knew that he was getting a settlement?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So Stephen came to me, like I said, asked me if I can give him $5,000. He didn't say lend. And I said, Stephen, I can't give you $5,000. I can let you borrow $3,000. He said, oh, come on, you can give me $5,000. You got the money. I said, Stephen, it's not about if I have the money. I can't afford it. You know, I was going to school. I put myself through college. And that was even before I got the settlement. So I've been working hard my whole life to save my own money. He said, come on, please, 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 you know. I said, all right, listen, I can let you borrow $3,000, but you got to pay me back. He said, well, I can't pay you back right away. I said, Stephen, I know you don't have money. If it takes you a year to pay me back, just pay me, you know, in drips and drabs, whatever you can, you know. So I gave him the money. He was so happy, you know. He said, thank you. My witness was present.
What did you write him a check?
I wrote him a check. And when I went to write him the check out, he said, don't write the check out to me, write it out to my father, because I don't have enough money in my account to cover it. Well, I said, that, you know, seems pretty sensible. He was asking me for the money, so obviously he didn't have money to cover it. And he said, I need the money right away because I have to put it down on a new apartment. So I said, no problem. I wrote the check out to his father so his father could cash it. After I gave him the money, I saw him less and less over the next 6 months. Come that October, I went back to college to get my bachelor's degree. So, and then I saw Stephen less even more. So I called Stephen up. Hey, Steve, I haven't talked to you in so long. How you been? What's going on? This and that. We talked like old buddies, like nothing had ever happened. Soon as I mentioned the money. What money? I said, Stephen, come on. You know, we grew up together. What do you mean, what money? You know? He said, you said that was a gift. I said, Stephen, come on. Who's going to give somebody $3,000? I was like, I haven't even given anybody in my own family $3,000, let alone a good friend. I said, I can let you, I said, I let you borrow it. We said, that's not what you told me, and hung up the phone.
Okay, stop. Mr. Cutler, did you need money?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You were working in 1995?
Yes, I was.
What kind of work were you doing?
Working in a soda distribution company.
Doing what?
Forklift work and just distribution, loading trucks up.
Okay. Were you evicted from residences at that time?
No, I wasn't.
Your Honor,
Well, tell me.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Just a second. We let you speak. Get back in a second. You don't deny that he transferred, I'm not going to say gave, loaned, or whatever, he transferred $3,000 to you for your benefit?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Now you tell me how that came about, sir.
We were longtime friends. We grew up together in the same neighborhood. And I knew John was getting a settlement, and he said to me, he said, Steve, he said, if I ever get a large settlement, he says, I'm going to take care of you and George Alt's because you guys been my best friends for so many years. Now, that's what he said to me. He said, you guys are going to get $5,000 each and a trip to Europe, he said to me. He said, I'm going to take you to Europe on me. That's what he told me.
I'm going to take you to Europe.
To Europe, yes, on him.
Just
Said we were going to go backpacking, hiking.
So did you ever do that?
No, we didn't. No, we
Okay.
didn't.
So tell me about the $3,000.
So as time went on, we were in the basement and together, and he said, Steve, he said, remember when I told you I was going to give you $5,000? I said, yes. He said, well, I can't afford to give you $5,000. He said, I spent a lot of money. He said, but I could afford to give you $3,000.
You mean, and that just came out of the blue?
Yes.
Just to hanging out in the basement?
Yeah, yes.
Did you say to him, what happened to the backpacking that we were going to do, the traveling
No,
we were going to do?
I never brought up Europe. I wasn't going to be greedy. I figured whatever, he was going to give me, he was going to give me.
So it just came out of the blue?
To be honest with you, it's been a few years. I don't remember the exact conversation, how it was brought up.
I do.
To be honest with you.
Go ahead.
It never took place in my basement.
Yes, it did.
When he was living in the house and he was getting kicked out, that's when the money transpired, actually. Mr. Alt was present.
He was present?
Step up here, sir.
Yes, he was.
Your Honor,
Step up here,
he's
sir.
lying, Your Honor.
Just a second. That's my strong suit, sir, to tell who's lying. What makes sense? Common sense. Yes.
How you doing?
Your name is... I'm
George
doing
Waltz.
fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Pleased to hear that. Your name is?
George Waltz. Basically, me and Steve talked about getting a loan from John. Actually, it wasn't a loan. We wanted to receive $5,000. Stephen ended up asking him. I just kind of stayed off to the side. A short time after, Steve came back and said, he's not going to loan us $5,000. He'll let us borrow $3,000.
Why were you looking to borrow money?
Because I was in debt at the time, and I had a lot of bills. So did Stephen. So Stephen said, I asked him, he would loan me $3,000. I said, I don't want a loan. If he's going to give me $3,000, I'll take the $3,000. I don't want another loan to get out of debt, to get back in debt with a friend. So I said, it's not even worth it.
Why would you think that your friend, Mr. Harkness, would give you money?
Like, we grew up together. I would. You got to understand our circumstances. We've been through a lot since little kids. I thought maybe we can get some money from him
Can I add something,
as a
Your
friend.
Honor?
Sure, step up here. Who are you?
My name's Joseph Smeltzer. I know all three of these men here for well over 15 years. When John received his lawsuit, for years, well before he received it, Steve and George had been his best friend, lifelong best friends. John had bragged countless times, and specifically, that he was going to take care of them financially and give them a gift.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Just a second. Were you present, sir, when you heard any discussion about $5,000 and a trip
Yes,
to Europe?
I was, many times. He made a lot of promises to a lot of people, not just Steve and George. I mean, he bragged that he was going to take care of a lot of people in many different ways.
Shh.
And
Just a minute. A lot of people do that.
Yes, they do.
A lot of
Absolutely,
people
they
do that.
But you got to consider the fact when best friends of this nature, they're considered like family. They grew up all their lives. It's more like family. It's like if I came into $1 million tomorrow, I'd have no problem giving Steve $5,000.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's a bitter man because I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head and I couldn't deal with him no more.
And later today,
You're going to give a box of ashes to your children and say, here, hold your grandmother?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Harkness wants his former best friend, Stephen Cutler, to give him back the $3,000 he loaned him. Stephen claims the money was a gift.
What you, Mr. Cutler, is suing for is on a contract. You say that there was a contract, and your contract with him was that he was going to give you a gift, right?
Correct.
A contract requires, in the law, something called consideration. There has to be something that you give to him and something that he gives to you in order for it to be enforceable. Otherwise, it's just puffing. I'm going to take care of all of my friends. Now, there's a certain amount of common sense that suggests to me that you were having certain problems in 1995.
Your
That
Honor,
has a ring of truth to it, sir.
Your Honor, $3,000 wasn't going to make any difference in my life at that time.
He was getting kicked out of the
whatsoever.
Just a second.
Whatsoever, Your Honor.
Just a second. Then why, Mr. Cutler, would you think, sir, that after several years, because this transaction took place several years ago, that Mr. Harkness would at this point sue you for the $3,000?
Because he's a bitter man, Your Honor.
Just a second. Why do you think he's a bitter man?
He's a bitter man because I was friends with him for a year after he gave me the $3,000. After that, I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head and I couldn't deal with him no more. And a lot of people the same way. So
don't tell me about a lot of other people. What
two
about
years
you?
later, he calls me up on the phone and says, Steve, he says, the money that I gave you, I want it back. I said, John, you gave it to me as a gift. He said, doesn't matter. We don't speak no more. He says, I want the money back.
Never
I said, well, you're not going to receive the money.
happened.
You gave it to me as a gift. And he said, well, I'll see you in court. And I said, I'll see you in court then.
Just a second. I'm going to resolve this in a minute. Did he make the check payable to your father?
Yes, he did. He told me, Your Honor, the reason why he made it out to my father was he told me, he goes, I don't want you spending it all in one place. He goes, I feel if your father is involved with it, he goes, your father will look out for the money better than you will. And that's why he wrote my check to my father.
Oh, no. You see, a very important thing for you to remember, sir, is that common sense is what's supposed to prevail in a court. If he were giving you money outright, he would have given you the check made out to you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you didn't need the money immediately, you could have opened up a bank account, put that check in the bank account, and waited for the check to clear. The fact that he made the check out to your father suggests to me that you needed the money immediately.
Yes.
And thank you for agreeing with me.
Sorry.
I also think, Mr. Cutler, that of all of his friends, I haven't heard of anybody else that just took money from him. Right? You haven't told me about anybody else that just took money.
I'm the only one here, Your Honor. I mean,
there were other people.
There were other people.
No, there wasn't.
I could have brought many witnesses here, but...
Name one.
Just a second.
Why'd you bring him?
Hey!
Sorry.
Sit down now. Mr. Harkness, I am satisfied based upon primarily the one tangible thing that we know, which is that you both agree on, that you made the check payable to his father, and that suggests to me that there was an immediate need that he had for the funds,
Yes,
which
Your Honor.
supports your story that he needed the funds immediately for a new apartment, which is totally different from what he's saying is that you were in the basement of your building making out a check and you said, I hear I'm going to give you some money.
No, never happened.
Well, I know you say it never happened. So I am giving you a judgment, sir, in the amount of $3,000, which is the amount of the loan. Thank you,
Your
that's
Honor.
all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That's right.
Out this way, gentlemen.
This way.
Out the back, go to your right.
A freak in disguise, bro.
See, that's all he can say.
A freak in disguise.
That's all he
Look
can
at you.
say.
Rip off that suit and
That's all he
nothing
can
white
say.
trash.
White trash with a
Mama's a freak,
with
his
a
dad's a
bachelor's degree.
freak, his whole family's
Bachelor's
freak.
degree. Ask him what degree he has. Ask him how many degrees he has. Nothing. I'm white trash.
And now the next case.
Parties on Gendron versus Gendron. Step forward, please.
42-year-old Suzanne Gendron wants her former sister-in-law, Teresa Gendron, to return the ashes of her mother.
Very strange case. And very old. Your mother died 21 years ago, according to your complaint.
Correct.
How old was she when she died?
She was 54.
And according to your complaint, your former sister-in-law, that's you, has her ashes.
Correct.
And she's had them for 21 years.
Yes.
You want them back?
Yes, Your Honor.
First, what took you 21 years?
I have been asking her since my children were born. We had an agreement that if and when I had children, because I was not married when my mom passed on, if and when I had children, that she would give the ashes to me to watch over my children. And
when did you make this agreement?
This was the year after my mother died, and we had agreed to that. And I began asking her for them when my daughter was born. My daughter, Sarah Louise, she's named after my mom. And I have not been successful in getting them from her since then. And we need her very much.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't know what it's like growing up in a house
Well,
full of
that,
men
you know, it's
with
not
no
like
woman's
Susan.
touch.
Susan, I'm
No
sorry.
one-
What woman's touch are you going to get from an urn or an ash?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 42-year-old Suzanne Gendron wants her former sister-in-law, Teresa Gendron, to return the ashes of her mother.
Hello.
How are you?
So?
I never agreed to give her back the ashes when her children were born. My mother-in-law confided in me that when she passed away, she wanted to be cremated, and she wanted her ashes thrown where her father used to dock his boat in Long Branch. I never knew exactly where this was, so I didn't want to just take her and just put her ashes anywhere. So the reason that I still have the ashes is because to this day I don't know exactly where she wanted her ashes thrown. She asked me to do this. I took it seriously, and that's why I still have the ashes. I never agreed to give you back the ashes.
Were you close to your mother before she died?
Yes, I was very close.
And did you hear her say, was she ill before she died?
No.
She was not. So
No,
this
she
was,
was
her
not.
death was sudden?
Very sudden. She had a heart attack.
When did she tell you that she wanted to be cremated?
She lived in Plainfield, and when she was in Plainfield, we spent a lot of time together. Suzanne didn't live in Plainfield. Suzanne lived in Montreal. And on one of our outings or trips to the shore, she told me that this is what she wanted because that's where she felt most peaceful.
That's
Now,
right.
Is that right?
Yes, and I have explained to my sister-in-law that I am prepared and I insist that we fulfill my mother's last wish. My Aunt Beth and my brother went last summer together to the exact spot where my mom wants her ashes scattered, and it was always in the agreement that I would have my mother for a short time and then we would all go to that spot. We know exactly where it is.
Great. Well,
And
then
we
this is a very easy lawsuit to
We
resolve.
want to fulfill my mother's last wish.
And so do you.
And so do I.
Good. And when do you intend to do that?
Well, I was unaware that the aunt and my ex-husband knew or even went to this spot.
Well,
what
but
I
then-
want to know is why they didn't include me and bring me with them so that we could have fulfilled my mother-in-law's wishes a year ago.
Absolutely. That's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
That's
I never
going to
said I
happen.
would.
When do you want it to happen is the question.
On her 25th, on the anniversary, the 25th anniversary of her death, which will be in 3 years.
No. Why would you want to wait another 3 years?
Because I don't have very long to live. I've been diagnosed with 2 different terminal illnesses. And I would like, for my children and for myself, I have some very difficult battles to fight. And I need my mother's strength. And I don't think that after 21 years, I don't think that 2 years or 2.5 years is going to hurt my mom that much. I think she'll enjoy being with me, her daughter, and her grandchildren.
Ms. Gendron, what you say is very sad, but you can't give yourself, nobody can predict the moment that an illness that you have, even if it's a terminal one, is going to cause you to leave this earth. And I wouldn't like you to live under that kind of an onus anyway. I mean, that's a terrible thing. Right now, your mother, and you acknowledge that, had a dying wish, and her wish was that she be cremated, which she was, and that she wanted to rest peacefully, having her ashes dispersed in a certain way.
Yes.
So you have to do that.
Yes.
And you have to do that now. It's been all too long delayed.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What is clear to me is that every person has the right to dictate what happens to them at the time of their death. Your mother did that.
Yes, she
It's
did.
been delayed for 21 years. It should not be delayed at all. I will make an order, and you tell me at what point you're going to be ready to go to New Jersey. That's where she wanted to be scattered. So you tell me when, and I will fix a time frame, a week or a 2-week period.
Spring.
In the spring? Step up here. Yes. April? Good. April.
How about May? May 15th. That's my daughter's birthday. She's named after my mother.
Is that a good date?
That's a good date.
May 15th?
Yes.
Fine. That on or before May 15th, the two of you, together with any of the siblings that want to accompany you, will finally fulfill your mother's last wish. Case is resolved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Please.
Thank you.
And on the next Judge Judy,
In my opinion, my sister-in-law feels like a box of ashes is going to take all her guilt and and loss away from her that's going to put something back into her life. I don't live with a box of ashes.
It's not a
I
box
live with
of ashes. It's my
memories.
mom.
You're going to give a box of ashes to your children and say, here, hold your grandmother?
No, I had a beautiful urn made for Mom. You don't know what it's like growing up in a house
Well,
full of men
you know, it's
with
not
no
like
woman's
Susan.
touch.
Susan, I'm
No.
sorry. What woman's touch are you going to get from an urn or an ash?
I had no inclination that he would ever.
Hey, just a second. He's not suing you. You're suing him.
You know what father would steal from their daughter?
Father and daughter torn apart by one loan too many.
I love this girl terribly, but I want her to grow up and take responsibility.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Well, you know, there comes a time you got to stand on your own 2 feet, madam.
This man, Frank Ferguson, 61, for stealing antiques and artwork. Frank is countersuing his daughter for her latest unpaid loan.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 469 on the calendar in the matter of Ferguson versus Ferguson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Miss Ferguson, this is your father.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
And you claim that your father has some valuable pieces of antique and paintings that belong to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And he said that he made a loan to you. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
One of many that he's made, but the last loan was for $2,000. When was that made, sir?
That was made on May 23rd, 1995.
And that these things were given as collateral for that loan.
No, Your Honor.
Is that right?
That's right.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So why don't you tell me how your father came into possession of your things?
I had purchased a home, and I rented a truck. The truck broke down. I took care of an elderly stroke patient, 6 days, 6 nights. I was out of time, out of desperation. I had rented trucks many other times.
Come on, just let's get to it, please.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I asked him. He
You
agreed.
asked your father?
Yes.
To help
He owns a
you?
trucking company. He agreed. I never saw my things again.
That's not what you say in your complaint, madam. That's not what you say in your complaint. You don't say that you didn't get any of your things. You say some things were missing.
The things that he took from his truck, I never received.
You want to respond to that, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I own a trucking company. Dana lost her house in Woodland Hills, or Agora Hills, she got thrown out. She asked me to store this material. I had stuff in my warehouse for over 3 years. She bought a house after she had a settlement. I sent 7 loads of her stuff. I give her a little Toyota pickup truck to take a walk through my warehouse, to take anything that she thought was hers.
How much after the move did she come to do the walkthrough and you sent 7 loads of stuff to her house?
It was within weeks.
And how long ago was this?
Oh, this was 2 years ago.
Is that when you moved?
No, Your Honor.
When did you move?
I moved in October of 1994. He
Okay,
continued
just
to
a second.
Put me off.
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
1994
Yes, Your
is
Honor.
when this happened. So we're now talking 4 years ago almost, right? 4
Yes,
years.
Your Honor.
Now, he says that he stored stuff for you.
He did not store. There was never permission to store. I never...
He says that he sent 7 loads of stuff to your house.
It never came to my house.
Just let me understand this. This happened in 1994.
Yes.
Right. Now, when did you borrow $2,000 from your father?
I borrowed money from him on May 23rd, 1995. I was under the impression he would still relinquish all of my items to me. I had no inclination that he would ever. What father would steal from their daughter?
Just a second. He's not suing you. You're suing him.
You know what father would steal from their daughter?
I'm not sure whether he did. What I want to know, madam, is why, if he had your stuff in 1994, and you didn't get your stuff in 1994, so you were angry, I assume, right?
You know what? I wasn't angry. He kept telling me that I would get it. He couldn't get a truck. I kept offering trucks. It was like one excuse. You don't know this man. one excuse
Well, I
after
don't know him, but you know
another.
him. Listen to me. I don't know him, but you know him well enough. You borrowed
I
another
didn't know him
$2,000
like
from
that.
him. Tell me about the $2,000 that you borrowed from him.
Well, he must have trusted me to do that. I trusted him.
Ms. Ferguson,
I trusted
why
him.
did you borrow $2,000 from him?
I borrowed it out of necessity.
Well, for what? What did you tell him? Tell me about it. You called him?
I called him. He said he's going to need more copies of my appraisals of my pictures. He wanted something else as collateral. He said that what he had.
Just a second.
He
We didn't
couldn't
get to the collateral yet.
Okay.
You called him up and said, I need money.
Right. He said.
Well, tell me about the conversation, madam, slowly.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Called him up and you said, I need money. Right? And did he ask you what for?
Yeah. Yes.
And what did you say?
I said, well, after purchasing my home, I was in between jobs. May I borrow this? When you give me the rest of my stuff, I will, if I need to sell it, I'll sell it. Because he had everything I owned. But I trusted him. He's my father. What reason would I not have to trust him? I wouldn't lie about this. There's no reason for me to. He's taken my whole life away.
I'm still not following your story, madam. You want to tell me about this?
Okay, it's not the first time she needed money. She's an older lady now. I figured she needed responsibility. Last time she needed money, she needed $3,500. I told her to go to her attorney that she's handling the case. I'll give her the 30. She had a suit for damage. She got hurt in an accident. I love this girl terribly, but I want her to grow up and take responsibility. So I says, I'll give you the $3,500, but you've got to make sure I get it back. I have young children. I've got to make sure they're provided for. The court case was settled. I got my $3,500. Everything was fine. I get a phone call. She said, Dad, I need money. I can't make my payments on my house. I need $2,000. I says, Dana, I will not give you any money unless I have something in collateral. By this time, I had nothing. So I met her at this restaurant. I was with my nephew and one of my children, my younger ones. Let her make the note out. I give her the $5 $100 cashier's checks plus $1,500 in cash. She went out to her car, unloaded the stuff in a
Unloaded what
van.
stuff?
Stuff. I mean, she had a statue, some paintings rolled up.
Mm-hmm.
I had that as collateral. I didn't even know if it was worth anything. I just said I want her to have responsibility. I can no longer just give her things. She has to take responsibility.
Okay. Good. Stop playing with the papers.
I'm sorry.
Stop playing with papers.
Pardon me.
A couple weeks later, she calls me up. I have to have my stuff. I've got to sell it. I said, Dana, you've left it for collateral. You've left it for collateral, honey. You've got to take responsibility.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm humiliated by him. How embarrassing to have a father like this. I can't even walk into an art gallery anymore.
And later today.
It has cuffs, and so where I threw up was on this side, but when they dry cleaned it, they uncuffed it. Some throw up was still here.
How lovely.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dana Ferguson claims her father stole antiques and artwork. He says the pieces were collateral for a $2,000 loan.
I was at Lake Mead 4th of July weekend. All the families invited. All my daughters and my youngest daughter came up. Mark and his fiancée was there. She got sick, and they went home early. I get a phone call that Dana, her boyfriend, and his boyfriend's mother broke into the house.
Who did you get a phone call from?
Mark.
Mark, step up here. Okay, you're out on this trip. Is your father?
Yes.
My stepfather.
Stepfather?
I was on vacation at Lake Mead.
You went home early.
Yes.
And what happened when you went home?
The next morning, we were home, received a knock on the door. It was Dana, her boyfriend. She wanted to come into the house and get her stuff. I said, I know nothing about this. My stepfather, Frank, was on vacation. You'll have to wait until he gets back. I tried to close the door at that point. They pushed the door in, pushed me to the ground, roughed me up a little bit, came in and started taking things. I yelled at my fiancée to call the cops. She did. They came. The cops stopped them from taking the stuff, and they left.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Your Honor, it's twisted.
Did you go to the house?
Yes, after I was told everything was sold.
Just a second. I don't care what you were told. Did you go to the house when your father wasn't home?
Yes, I was instructed to do so by my mom.
I don't care what your mom told you.
I know. You're right.
Police were called?
I wanted them to arrest me because then somebody would defend me. Somebody would have seen that all my things were there.
Listen, I believe your father, madam. I believe your father that he lent you $2,000. You acknowledge that he gave you $2,000 and he took things as collateral.
Have you seen the note, Your Honor?
What note?
This is the note. It only states 2 items.
Let me see.
And here's what he sent me only 2 months later. Okay.
Okay. This says that you have 2 items, sir, as held as collateral. And do you still have these 2 items in your possession?
She broke into the house and took one of those 2.
Which one did she take?
The statue.
Is that the bronze?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Mother and child?
Yes. She only had one of those.
Your Honor.
And the other one is an Erte?
Yes, I had it at the time.
Okay.
Luckily, the police made her put it back.
Your Honor.
What?
The van was searched. Everything was taken out. I wasn't allowed to. Nothing was relinquished back to me. Nothing. I didn't receive anything. I didn't take anything out of his house. I never asked for anything that belonged to him. I was willingly going to give him that $2,000. I had asked him, please allow for me to give you the $2,000 so I may have everything that belongs to me.
So why didn't you give him the $2,000?
Your Honor.
Who are you?
My name is Oscar Dustam. I'm a witness.
What did you see?
He never wanted to collect the $2,000. My family and I collected the money, and at that time, I spoke to Dana and tried to get in touch with her father, and he refused to get her things back.
Just a second, sir. Did you ever have a conversation with him?
No.
So you were going to get $2,000 and give it to her?
Yes.
But she never gave it to her father?
No, he refused.
Well, did you hear him say, I refuse?
Over the intercom, Your Honor.
Are you her boyfriend?
It's on a tape.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, I'm her boyfriend.
Are you the one who broke into the house when he wasn't home?
I did not break into the house, Your Honor.
Never broke in.
Are you the one that went into the house to retrieve property?
No, Your Honor. I stepped into the door, and by the time this gentleman, the stepson, came, he was feeling bad, and he came and he tried to push us back, and everything started just going
Just a second.
Chaos.
Just a second. What right do you have to be in his house?
I was not in his house. I was at the door with her.
What right do you have to be in his house?
I was permitted to come into the corridor.
By whom?
By him. He allowed me. He opened the door and allowed me in. And once I was in, then he came after me.
What were you going there to do?
I had my box with all of my receipts, and I said, please, just give
You were
me
going there to take property.
To take what belongs to me.
You were going to his house when he wasn't home to take property. Is that what you were doing, madam?
There was somebody in the home. I would have...
Listen. This is baloney.
Can
Listen
you
to me.
See my certificates?
I don't want to see your certificates.
He victimized me because he knew he can get away with it. He's done this to a number of people. You don't know this man.
I don't know him, and I don't know you.
I know him now.
Listen to me. I don't know him, and I don't know you. All I know is the story that you're telling me doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. And common sense usually is right. It doesn't make sense that your father, who you asked for help, took your property and stole it. And after he stole your property, you called him up and asked him for money. He lent you money, and he wanted collateral. And you gave him collateral, and then when he wasn't home, this makes sense, when he wasn't home, you, your boyfriend, and your boyfriend's mother went into the house without his permission.
Everything was there, Your Honor.
It was there. I described everything I owned.
We didn't even have to go into the house.
I thought you said, sir, that you
wouldn't have
listen to me. How could you stand there and tell me, sir, that everything was there when you just told me 2 seconds ago that you never got past the front door?
Please
Everything
don't make
was
him
hanging
right again.
on the walls. Your Honor, you can see pictures of her.
I don't know what this is about. I don't know the history of this family. Clearly, it's a pathological situation.
I would never lie, Your Honor. These things belong to me. I don't want what doesn't belong to me. I never asked for what doesn't belong to me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
She doesn't have to have your coat with your DNA on it, right?
Yes.
You have the coat with your DNA on it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dana Ferguson claims her father stole antiques and artwork. He says the pieces were collateral for a $2,000 loan.
According to your father, has always been this way. Is that right?
No, Your Honor. He'd been through therapy.
What about you?
I had to.
For a long time?
On and off. Yeah. But nothing to, because you have this as a father, of course.
Listen to me. If you have this as a father, and if you've been in therapy for years because you have this for a father, you don't call and ask him for money. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Well, you know, there comes a time you got to stand on your own 2 feet,
You're
madam.
right.
You're
I bought my
absolutely
own
right.
house.
So you got to stop.
I moved out when I was 18. I was the only one with a relationship with this man.
Well, you don't have one anymore. It's too bad. I am not convinced, madam, that he stole your property. And, sir, you have the collateral.
Yes, ma'am.
Do what you want to do with it. That's all.
I sold it to pay the doctor bills.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This is so wrong. You didn't win again, you scum. I thought there would be justice in this world. I really thought somebody would come to my aid. There's a day it's going to come, and he's going to have his day. And I'm so sad. I've lost everything that I own. I'm humiliated by him. How embarrassing to have a father like this. I can't even walk into an art gallery anymore.
And now the next case.
Parties on Moffitt versus Scott. Step forward, please.
18-year-old nursing assistant Tina Moffitt is suing her cousin, 26-year-old Cotilia Scott, for ruining her fake fur coat.
This is your cousin?
Yes, it is.
You borrowed her coat?
Yes, I did.
And you got sick all over it?
Yes, I did.
Why? Drinking or just sick?
Drinking.
So you drank, you got sick all over her coat?
Yes, ma'am.
You want a new coat?
Yes.
And how much did you pay for the coat?
I paid $178.46.
And when did you buy the coat?
My fiance bought the coat. On the paper it has October 27th.
When did you borrow the coat?
January 17th.
All right, so Miss Scott, why don't you tell me why you don't think you're responsible for buying her a new coat?
Well, first of all, when I borrowed the coat, from her, I went out, had too much to drink, I got sick. The next morning, I took the coat to the cleaners. I had it dry cleaned. It should have been fine. I picked the coat up, and it has cuffs. And so where I threw up was on this side, but when they dry cleaned it, they uncuffed it. So when I inspected it and rolled the cuff back up, some throw up was still here.
How lovely.
And he said, if you give me a couple of minutes, I'll take care of that for you. And so I said, okay. So I waited a few minutes. He gave me the coat, and I looked at it. I'm like, well, it's wet. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I just steam clean it, and when it'll dry, it'll be fine. So I said, fine. So I pulled the plastic down, and I drove the coat to her. She called me later at work, and I never looked at the belt. It's kind of a rope belt. She was screaming and yelling. The tassels were unraveled, and this side of the coat had dried, and it was all matted and clumped together, you know, like fur was missing.
All right, that's more information than I have to know.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You borrowed the coat.
Yes.
Why did you borrow her coat? Did you like it? You were going out someplace special?
Well, where I was going, I have a coat. It's an expensive name brand coat that I left for her to keep while I borrowed her coat, which was more of an evening coat.
So you borrowed her coat because you liked it?
Yes, ma'am.
You just bought it. See that coat?
Right.
I didn't ruin the coat. The cleaners ruined it.
Listen, go take it up with the cleaners.
Okay.
She doesn't have to have your coat with your DNA on it, right?
Yes.
You have the coat with your DNA on it. Right? Do you have a problem with the cleaners? You go to the cleaners and say, you ruined my coat. Because in actuality, Miss Scott, it is now your coat. Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $178.46. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I mean, I could have gave it to her the way it was. I tried to have it dry cleaned. It's not my fault they ruined it. So I just got myself a new coat.
Well, actually, I'm glad she paid for it because it wasn't paid for, really. So she just finished paying it off on a credit card. So she did me a favor.
Don't be touching my coat.
Miss Gregg, this was your boyfriend?
Yes, it was.
For how long?
Around 2 years.
But it was a love match in which tempers flared and sparks flew.
Why did you break her radio?
I was off. You know what I mean?
Didn't you know how to say that another way?
Yeah. I was off, though.
Around 2 years.
Did you live together?
Yes.
You have any children?
Yes, we do.
How many?
1.
How old?
14 months.
How old are you?
19.
And how old were you when the baby was born?
18.
What kind of work do you do?
Assembly work.
How old are you?
20.
So you got into some big fights in the house, is that right?
He was the one always starting fights. He always used to break everything in my house. And he owes me a lot more than what I'm suing him for, but I didn't think I would have a good chance because the only proof I got is a radio that he had given to me after he broke my new one.
Well, so let me understand this. Because your complaint says he broke your radio.
Yes.
He says, I did. Why did you break her radio?
I was off. You know what I mean?
Didn't you know how to say that another way?
I was off, though.
Wait. All right. So you broke her radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you bought her a new one.
Well, I got it off my brother. My brother gave it to me, and I gave it to her.
So you have a radio.
I can show it to you. It was all, first of all, it doesn't rewind. It eats up your tapes. It gets only 2 stations.
No, it works. You can plug it in right now. I'm trying to tell you.
Did you throw a telephone of his out the window?
It was a TV, but
A TV, excuse me.
I had a corner suit, but I'm dropping that because I ain't worried about the $300 or whatever it was.
Did she throw your TV out the window?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I guess she was mad because I didn't go home or something.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but I can't pick up a $300 TV. It's in his mother's house, and he probably watches it every day. And he probably watches it every day. And
Well, what did you throw out the window?
I've never threw anything of his out the window.
My CDs,
I was scared of him, for one
TV,
thing. I couldn't throw anything of his out the window.
All my stuff.
He's broken my kitchen set. He's broken glass tables. He's broken through my window.
She's bugging. I never broken her house.
Miss Gregg, how long did you know him before you decided to have his baby?
It was my mistake, and I understand
How long
that.
did you know him?
It was about a week.
No.
And then,
no.
And then she was like, yeah.
How long did you know him?
Around 9 months.
It was like a week, but she got pregnant in like 9 months.
It only takes 9 months to have a baby.
Yeah, I'm saying, but after like a week, she was like, oh, don't use no condoms, whatever. I was like, nah, I want to use condoms. And
First of all, I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
And she was like, nah, we ain't gonna do nothing if you use condoms. So I was like, all right, then.
Ay, 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 ay. Mr. Allison.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest to you, sir, you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
There are ways of expressing yourself in a court or in most other civilized locations that don't involve using 4-letter words.
All right, I'm sorry about that.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You go to church ever?
I used to go to church.
I mean, would you use these words when you were talking to your priest?
Nope.
Because you knew enough not to do that, right?
I was young, too. I was like...
So you mean you got older and dumber?
No.
You mean when you were younger, you were smarter?
Why I gotta be dumb?
Well,
You know
because
what I
if
mean?
you were younger, you said you knew not to talk to your priest and
I never talked to the priest, really. I just went to Sunday school, like, for like 3 weeks. That's it.
Then you got kicked out.
All right. You want a new radio?
Yes.
Give him back the one he gave you.
You want to keep this radio?
No, I don't.
She doesn't want that radio, Mr. Allison.
It's not
She
wrong
wants a
with it.
new radio. And she's suing you for $120 for the new radio. Wish I could give her $120 for a new radio and give myself $500 having to suffer here listening to your language. You have a child. Boy or a girl?
Little girl.
Do you visit with her?
Well, I seen her yesterday. That's it, though, for a while.
You're going to try to be a good father?
Yeah, I'm going to school in the fall, and I got a job right now.
You wouldn't want your daughter to grow up listening to that language that you use, would you?
Nope.
Excuse me, but he swears all the time in front of her. So if he didn't want her to grow up listening to that, he wouldn't do that in front of her.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
One thing I'm really pleased about is that you have intention of going back to school. Maybe you can learn something. Maybe.
And later today,
The only way she has to check, sir, is if she takes you to court. So this is a very foolish thing to have. Very stupid.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Kimberly Gregg claims 20-year-old Jordan Allison, the father of her child, smashed her radio. Jordan says Kimberly threw his television out the window.
So the two of you, who had absolutely no business making a child, made a child, and neither one of
Why
you...
didn't we have any business? We used to love each other.
Because you made this child, sir, when you were 18 years old?
It doesn't matter.
Oh. I don't have enough hours in the day to get through to you, sir. But I certainly hope one thing I'm really pleased about, is that you have intention of going back to school. Maybe. Just maybe. You can learn something. Maybe.
What are you trying to say? I don't know nothing now. Right.
$120 for you. Buy yourself a new radio. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'll play child support. I'll see my daughter, but I ain't being with her no more.
That's why you call me up all
I
the
don't call you.
time.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Oh, all right.
This
I got
girl's
messages
crazy.
to prove it.
All right.
I ain't even
Pull
gonna
the
pull his
messages.
card, but he knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, whatever.
And now the next case.
Parties on Basler versus Cora. Step forward, please.
29-year-old blackjack dealer Michelle Bassler is suing her ex-husband, graphic artist Peter Cora, 32, for not paying his share of their federal income taxes. Peter is countersuing his ex-wife for harassment.
Miss Bassler, you and the defendant were married and divorced. Correct. And pursuant to your judgment of divorce, according to the defendant, he says that you were supposed to share the marital debts. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you get a statement from the Internal Revenue Service saying that you were both deficient in paying income tax for a year while you were married, and they took your whole refund to satisfy that deficiency. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was a joint debt?
Yes.
So you say he should be responsible for at least half?
Your Honor, a statement came to me from the IRS stating that almost $1,100 went to paying his Social Security.
His Social Security?
Number, not my number. The only reason why I was responsible is because I was married to him at the time, and we had filed jointly for 1994 taxes.
Were you working in 1994?
No.
In the year that was filed? You were not?
No, I was not.
What kind of work was your husband doing at that time?
He is self-employed.
You have children together?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
How many children?
One.
How old is that child?
He just turned 5.
So you were staying home with him when he was young?
Yes, I did.
So how much did they take altogether?
They took $1,089.30.
Can I see, please, your judgment of divorce?
Sure.
Here you go.
What kind of business are you in, sir?
I do graphic arts and printing.
Now, Ms. Bassler, this judgment's divorce is clear. It says that the plaintiff, that's him, shall be responsible for 1/2 of various community debts, including Sears, Sizes Unlimited, Broadway, Phone Company, and IRS for 1994 taxes, among other things. Defendant shall be responsible for 1/2 of the community debts and the debt against the 1988 Mercury. This divorce judgment was in 95, was filed in 95. Clearly, this says that you're responsible for half.
Correct.
Okay. That means you're responsible for half.
Correct.
Good.
We're equally responsible for half of all community debts. And I spent over $3,000 in community debt. And I figured she didn't have a job when we were divorced. And I wanted to just, try to be fair. I paid him. I figured eventually one day down the road, it'll all wash out.
Okay.
The first penny taken from her, she blows up.
Okay. So let's see. Plaintiff, that's you. Sears bill. I'm going through each one of them. Let me see what you paid to Sears.
Your Honor, I have a $22 check for Sears that I don't have a copy of, but that was all that I paid
$22 to Sears. Sizes Unlimited.
$150.34.
$150. So I'm going to give you credit for half of that. Sizes Unlimited. That was your bill?
Yes.
$75. What's next? Broadway.
Total for Broadway was $198.86.
Let's make it an even 200 because I'm so poor in math. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Half. You get credit for $100, sir. I assume you have receipts for all these things that you paid.
Canceled checks, yes, Your Honor.
Good. So in total, sir, instead of these thousands of dollars that you're talking about, you got $175 that I'm going to give you credit for because that's what the divorce decree says.
Okay.
Right?
Fine. In the judgment, it also stated that we were to share in the payment of her father's house, which I paid a payment of $1,045, and that was the only payment made.
Just a second. Okay, both parties shall be equally responsible for the defendant, that's you, refinancing of her house in California while your father resides in the house. What does that mean?
Basically, we borrowed money on the house, and I agreed as long as her father was living there that I would share in the cost.
What do you mean you borrowed money on the house?
The house belonged originally to Michelle and her sister. Her sister basically wanted nothing to do with the loan that we needed when we moved to Las Vegas.
Just a minute. What you telling me you took out a home equity loan on the house?
Yes.
Well, why don't you just say that? That's something
Okay.
I understand very clearly. You took out a home equity loan on her house.
On her house.
On her house, on her property.
Correct.
And what'd you all do with the money?
We moved to Las Vegas.
Together?
Together.
How much money, sir, would you say you used of the home equity loan?
Between the two of us, all of it.
How much?
Your Honor, I can't give you an exact
Give me an
amount.
idea.
Okay, the first loan was in the amount of $75,000 is correct. Over $40,000 of it went to purchase a home here in Peter's name. I was not on that house. I had given him the money for the down payment. We lived there. And the rest of it was to pay off consumer debt and to live because Peter didn't have a job from the time we moved to Las Vegas until shortly after we moved in October of '91. It wasn't until the end of January of '92 that he found employment.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
$270 a month is an outrageous amount of child support from what apparently is an educated man like yourself in his own business, right, who's got money for a tape recorder.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Bassler wants her ex-husband, Peter Corr, to pay his share of their federal income taxes. He wants her to stop harassing him.
The reason I find that interesting is because I read your answer, sir, and in your answer, sir, you said that she didn't work, that you supported the whole family, that you worked and took care of everything, she just stayed home.
For the most part, I met the obligations. I was the one earning the money to pay back the loan.
Well, how much did you pay back?
We were paying probably around $1,000 a month. But
how much did you pay back?
We paid back at whatever the loan payments were until there was a balloon at the end of the loan. That's what caused the refinance.
How much did you pay on
The
it?
loan was a 30 due in 3. At the end of 3 years, I had a refinance. Peter made one payment before our divorce, and the rest of the time my sister and I took care of it.
Okay. Now, what's all this other thousands of dollars for harassment, Mr. Cora?
She has taken me to court for several things. She has told the district attorney statements that were absolutely false, and she has dragged me to court. She's made me out to be a deadbeat dad. I have paid every dime of my child's support. My child is my primary concern. My divorce decree says 18% of my income. Since my income fluctuates, my child support payments fluctuated. So she...
did you have lawyers representing you in this divorce proceeding?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't you understand, madam, that when somebody is self-employed, you don't say, I'm going to accept 18% of his income. That brings you back and forth every single time a month comes due because you don't have a paycheck to look at, and you have absolutely no way of checking. And the only way she has to check, sir, is if she takes you to court. So this is a very foolish thing to have in a support order, 18% of your income. Very stupid.
Your Honor, can I play a tape for you?
Just a second.
It's very critical in the harassment charges.
Just a second.
Yes.
Tell me what the tape is going to say to me.
Basically, it goes with her rambling on and on, how I'm going to take you to district court, I'm going to take you to family court, I'm going to keep you in court, I'm going to make your life miserable.
So why don't you go into court, sir, and say, I want a fixed amount to pay every week?
We already have that. The district attorney ordered me to pay $270 per month, period.
Your Honor, that issue is not finished. He has to prove his income. He supplied me with computer-generated income taxes in family court. And when we went for divorce, I was not represented. Peter went to court by himself.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I think that until you get the issue of support resolved, there is going to be continued acrimony. You cannot have a support order that says 18% of your income, especially when you are self-employed. So I would suggest as fast as you can to get the matter of support resolved.
It has been.
No, not according to her. If a district attorney directs you to pay a certain amount of money, sir, that is not a court proceeding. A district attorney is there as an interim advocate. So he has suggested that until this matter is ultimately resolved, you pay $270. But I'm telling you this, sir, if the judge, after hearing this case, determines that you, in fact, earn more than what you told the district attorney, based upon several factors, some of which I don't think I'm going to tell you now, so that they might come as a surprise to you. You must be prepared to pay more than the $270 a month, because that doesn't probably represent 18% of your actual income. We understand each other?
Yes.
Perfect.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Your counterclaim, sir, is dismissed. I am
You won't
awarding...
allow me to play this one last piece of evidence?
No, I'm not interested in her telling you she's going to take you to every court in the United States, including the Supreme Court of the United States. $270 a month is an outrageous amount of child support from what apparently is an educated man like yourself in his own business, right, who's got money for a tape recorder. So if she's annoyed that you went through clearly with her a lot of her money, I can understand that. Shouldn't have to trust you. I get $373, Bird. I get half of $1089.
Right, which is $544.65 was what I came up with.
$544. Go ahead.
65.
Less
and then
ones?
I took away $175, and I came up with $369.65.
Oh, that's right. $369, judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Thanks, sir.
And on the next Judge Judy.
For the sake of my child, I'm always polite to her. My child is #1 priority. I will not be nasty in front of her, in front of my child to her. And it was ordered in the court, in the divorce decree, that we aren't nasty to each other in front of the child.
It was offered the use of the credit card to pay for my car repairs.
So, sure, being dead, you accepted.
They were in love for 4 years, but now it's over.
Chivalry.
Wants him to pay what he owes.
So that what you're expecting me to believe, sir,
She
all up to date on the Visa and all up to date on the MasterCard.
That's what I want you to
You were all
29-year-old student Wendy Hickman wants her ex-boyfriend, 30-year-old Mark Fraley, to pay her for using her credit cards to repair his Porsche, 33 other bills while they were together.
Order.
And paying
Rise. All right. Your Honor, this is case number 418 on the calendar in the matter of Hickman versus Fraley. Morning, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
You were
Parties have been sworn.
4.5 years. You let him use your credit cards. You split up. You don't pay.
Correct.
Together, what'd you give him your credit cards for?
Well, we dated for almost a little over 4.5 years, and he did not have a credit card. So on occasions when he needed and
have a credit card.
I didn't want a credit card. I didn't need one.
Why didn't you? You had hers.
Didn't have hers. She had hers.
Did you hers?
I didn't use hers without her being there. She was
I
there.
didn't mean that you used it. Would you use her? Knowledge and permission. Did you use her credit card?
We used her credit cards.
Without her. Ever use her credit card for things that was strictly for you?
Yes.
Did you?
Well, we some car repairs.
Like what? And that was for your car?
Right.
So you did need a credit card for your car repairs?
At the situation, I didn't really need a credit card. I could have paid for it myself cash, but it was, well, the use of the credit card to pay for my car repairs.
So,
offered.
Being dead, you accepted.
Well, that's a different type of, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that the money
was
supposed to be used towards a vacation that I was going to be going on with the plaintiff. Money was...
How much did you charge on her credit card for your car repair?
About $850.
How much did you pay
that
for
would be
it?
actually incorrect.
Okay. How much did he pay?
How much?
For the car repairs.
Well,
how much did he charge on your credit card for the car repairs?
For the car repairs, how much did he pay? $100.
And how much of that did you pay?
I'd say I paid probably all.
About 14.
Show me.
I can't show you. I can show you what I did pay, though. I can show you what I've all of it. There's basically, the plaintiff had my checkbook. She wrote checks for me, paid over the year. She just said, okay, well, this is what we're paying, this is what I'm paying, and I just to pay.
Let me just see, sir, your checks for June.
There you go. Continue.
Okay. June.
And this is a statement, paid 908. Your Honor, basically through our relationship, I paid everything.
What are you showing me here?
Those are copies. I couldn't get canceled checks in time. The bank sent me the paid for statements. So I'm showing you a bank statement, and as well as a wrong check ledger, which shows that I paid 908.
I'm not
Copy of my
check ledger, sir. Okay. Now, what about Visa? Interested in you? You see the charges on Visa for his car.
They're right here. And I have payments. I mean,
let me.
This is from October of '95 until July of '96. He was accredited in the red. Those are his payments. So I gave him full credit for everything that he and there's or paid. I just want what he owes me plus the interest. It's accrued since. Did. I agree that it's pretty lame that he charged.
Very lame. Very lame. And
it wasn't a
nobody's
matter of me charging on her card. It's like, I want this, I'm charging on
Lame.
Credit card.
and you're paying for it.
Okay. You owe her some money for the car.
The credit card?
But these other charges, are his that he made.
Repairs.
Did she?
I would not have said that, yes, go ahead and use my credit card and I'll pay for this.
On the Your Honor's bill that she breaks down for June, does she break down what would be my charges and her charges?
Mm-hmm.
American Express, why didn't she want to do that throughout our relationship on the American Express bill that I paid?
Why?
We always do.
Just a second.
Okay, what? Yeah.
She did.
No.
But maybe she did it in this month because, you don't break up. Why? Sir, things start going bad in the months before that.
A couple years before that.
Right? Well, they overnight a relationship longer than you should have. So. People have to be smart, and you stay with men and women. You don't commingle these assets and expect somebody else. Court, both waste their time going through a 5-year relationship, separates to Kleenex and who bought toilet paper and whether it was his toilet paper or your Kleenex. That's just not going to happen. Who bought You look like an intelligent young woman. You don't let somebody else use happen matter.
I took his word. I thought he
dating
would
for
pay.
4.5 years isn't being married.
I realize.
Your credit card. Why after 4.5 years weren't you married?
Realize that?
Huh?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Mr. Fraley.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So, up in June.
In July.
In July of 1996. So you broke.
Yes.
What I would like you to do is, assuming that this was valid, correct? It is not. But assuming it was, I just want you to take out the sheet evidence of payments that you made on the Visa and MasterCard on or after of 1996.
None.
All right. So that what you're in July to believe, sir,
Said everything was paid prior.
is that you were all up to date, expecting me on the Visa and all up to date on the MasterCard. If that's what you want me to believe.
That's what I want you to believe.
No way. No way.
Your Honor, breakups and
No.
I mean, through our 4-year relationship, I paid for, and I think the plaintiff will agree that I never good financially took care of her when we went out.
I would disagree.
Well, she can disagree, basically, but since I was making more money than her, I took more of the financial burden. And that was understood.
Except, sir, that when you broke up, there was an $8,000 bill.
And okay.
That was a debt. That was a debt that
wasn't my $8,000.
due on Visa. Well, but a good portion, at least a portion of it, sir, was yours. A portion of it here has more repairs, which were extensive, and you were making minimum payments due on the account. Your car, and you break up and you decide, well, I don't have to make minimum payments anymore on the account. I'm not going to make another payment. So that, which is exactly what you did, because there is nothing in your ledger to suggest that after you kissed each other on the account, you made one additional payment, which is really sort of outrageous.
I never
the goodbye.
Money I paid all along, though.
Well, that's your problem.
I knew how much.
Judy continues in a moment.
I do believe in what he says, that he paid for certain things.
Judge Judy.
Otherwise, you would have been a jerk to stay with him, since he was earning 4 times as much as you were, right? In cash. Good.
And later today.
You don't, sir, ask
your
friend to step up to the mic so that you can do fisticuffs with him. It's like a boy. Dumb up. Dumb and
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Wendy Hickman wants her ex-boyfriend, Mark Fraley, to pay her back for credit while they were together.
She's suing you for half of this $8,000, and
For the use of
half of it is yours. But I certainly think that your car repairs are yours. I don't even know. There are a lot of other charges here that are substantial, big ones. You know, did you go to Houma Lodge and to Houma, California together? You went together and you charged that on the credit card, $232, right?
Yeah, we did. I paid it.
You paid.
Okay, she would charge something. I'd bring cash, and I'd pay cash. She charged it.
Who would you pay cash to?
I'd pay cash for everything else. It wasn't a matter of, okay, let's throw everything on the credit card. I'm penniless.
Oh, just a second. I understand. You went to this lodge, and how long?
I wasn't walking.
Lodge.
Two nights.
Yeah, 2 nights.
2 nights. The truth is, I see what you mean. The lodge is paid for on here, but you also had to eat. People. I assume you didn't go skiing or
I
whatever.
have my
you're
own
doing.
money. It's not like penniless.
No, but he was with you, so I assume he paid. Cash.
No, not necessarily. I went.
You know something? Truth of the matter is, I don't necessarily believe you. I think that you put some things on your credit card, either some things that are clearly his bills. But according to this, you did go on certain things you put on the credit card. But if you look down the same dates, they're on vacation dates. They're like for restaurants, going out to eat, so that he probably paid some of no cash, and you put some of the stuff on your credit card. And whether that balanced itself out of the meals and 50 is anybody's guess. You still had an $8,000 nut. 50-50. Nobody is going to figure this out. Certainly, I am not going to award you $4,000. Believe him when he says that he paid for certain things in cash. Otherwise, you would have been a jerk to stay with him, since he was, because I do times as much as you were, right?
Yes.
Good. So I don't think you look like a jerk. So I'm awarding you $4,000. Consider yourself lucky. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
$1,000.
I was helping him out. He didn't have the money. He didn't have the credit to get a credit. So I allowed him to use it.
But I was making 4 times as much, so how come I didn't have the money?
Credit card? I don't know. Good question. You just don't say on good faith that I'm going to pay you back. You do it. That's just wrong.
Oh, but it's okay to take and take and take, and then that's all right.
And you don't twist a view of our relationship.
And now the next case.
He's on Welton versus Lunaria Restaurant. Step forward, please. All parties.
Harmonica virtuoso Danny Welton is suing restaurant owner Bernard Jacques for not paying for his performance. Bernard claims the harmonica player's rude behavior caused customers to leave.
Mr. Welton,
Yes, ma'am.
Rude behavior.
play the harmonica.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You do that for a living?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You, to your complaint, you had a contract with the defendant to play at his restaurant.
We had a verbal agreement.
According to...
Because I...
Am I speaking? You had a contract with the defendant to play at his restaurant.
Yes, ma'am.
You played there.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't...
That's right.
That's what this case is about.
That's right.
He's got a defense, pay you. You didn't play and you cost him money. So, and he said, it was an oral one. How much were you supposed to be paid?
Initially, my band was...
You agreed?
$350 for the band. I was supposed to get 80% of all covers. And also, I was supposed to be reimbursed 5% I took out in the Hollywood Reporter. I got reimbursed for that. Also, something very important and very dear to me, he was supposed to feed my... and gave them nothing. Nothing.
No, that's not true. Even according to you, he gave him something.
Band, and
he gave him stale pizza.
Yeah, well, stale pizza. That was nothing.
According to you, they ate it.
They spit it... Well, actually, they spit it out.
Mr. Welton, let me explain something to you, sir. We are not going to proceed and play with each other.
Yes, ma'am.
This was for this performance?
One-night engagement.
And how many one night are you supposed to do in that one night?
2.
And did you do the first one? Shows?
Yes, ma'am, and it was packed.
Packed. And then there was a problem, to you, sir, with the second performance. So why don't you tell me? According...
There was a drunken lady in the audience who started to heckle me.
What did you say about it?
You know, I'll be honest with you, Judge. I do not recall exactly. If I were to say, it would be wrong.
Okay, so you started shouting things.
That's right.
How long have you been
exactly,
a performer, sir?
All my life. Since
So
I'm 3 years old.
I assume that performers do this sort of thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
And
what
I
did
know
you
how
do?
to handle 'em.
You've had P do.
I start throwing lines back at her.
So what'd you...
To keep her quiet, hoping that would squelch. And her boyfriend got mad at me and threatened to charge the problem. And I said, come on. You know, he was going to the microphone. I was, you know, I wasn't going to back off. I've never taken a come up there backwards in my entire life.
So what happened?
Bernard, half a step show at that point.
Bernard, you closed the show down when that's...
We closed the we were forced to.
Shh. You closed down the show. Is that right?
Your
What's
Honor.
happening? Very smart. Exactly the right thing to do. So what happened next?
Well, that many people there because it's kind of an early type. Actually, there weren't. You get your big crowd the first show, and sometimes I noticed that there's supper club second show. The first 2 times I played there, there wasn't even a second show.
Oh, you played there before?
Never even before.
Did he pay you?
Yes, the first time everything went twice. The second time he broke his agreement with me. He did not pay me the cover charges. Well.
But you went back for a third time.
Well, I gave him another chance. You know, I'm a sucker that way.
A sucker who never backs down.
That's right. I'm kind of an all-day, not back down sucker.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Welton marched bars screaming profanity that he was not going on until he was introduced because he's very around the bar and he doesn't do things this way. Big star.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Harmonica virtuoso Danny Welton is suing restaurant owner Bernard for not paying for his performance.
You didn't pay him.
Correct.
You didn't pay him anything.
Not even a...
Correct? No, he gave you stale pizza, Mr. Welton.
A biscuit.
Mr. Jacoby, tell me why you didn't pay him at all.
The agreement was for 3 shows, like every entertainer.
Once we had to reimburse the people that were there, and we had to
You
turn
mean
away. Only did one
people for the second show?
for the second show.
For the cover charge?
That's correct.
Reimburse the people.
And we had to turn away all the people that are coming for the second and third show. We had to close the bar. We lost bar revenue, and we lost show revenue. In addition to that, his manager that's present had a tab for $80. Here it is, and he signed it saying he was going to pay it. The following day, he never did come and pay it.
Well, that's not his problem. He is not his manager's key.
Presenting Mr. Weldon. And in leaving the property, we have neighbors here. He assaulted our maitre d'. We have the copy of the security witness police report here. And it doesn't
Who's the maitre d'?
I am.
And
What is your name?
Gerard Buck.
You have a complaint filed against this. Step up, sir. This gentleman for assault?
I did file a complaint, yes.
How did he assault you?
On the way,
Against this?
he elbowed me very hard and kicked me.
That is not true.
I then called out security, made a report, and then filed a complaint with the police. Made a report. We called the department.
Were you escorting him off forcefully?
No, the police. You can't go near him. I mean, he's out of control. No,
Your Honor?
You are the manager?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
You drink a lot.
Pardon? If I may? No, that wasn't just for me. That was for other people in the audience.
Well, you drink a lot. Buying.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Why didn't you pay the bill?
But you said he's not going to pay us. And I said, you can deduct it from what you owe us. Because he said...
Oh, was that what you said?
That's exactly what I said to him.
Oh, so you told him to deduct
$80 from the amount of money he
from
owed
the
us.
$300.
Well, we had the 88... Your Honor, if I may explain.
Sure.
It's a 20-year showroom with a large bar off to the right-hand side of the performance. A small and a large restaurant that opens up during the performances. Performers.
Just a second. What is your last name?
Edel, Your Honor. E-D-E-L-L.
Mr. Reed.
Your Honor.
Were you there when this incident occurred with this lady heckler?
Absolutely.
Edel. Well, didn't you tell Mr. Welton that he behaved totally inappropriately?
Absolutely. I don't believe he did behave
Sure he
inappropriately.
did.
This man threatened him bodily.
No, he didn't threaten.
No, I don't.
Started
Oh,
out-
no, Your Honor.
Mr. Edel, just pay attention to me,
Surely.
sir. Him until he's not a comedian.
Yes, I am.
He's a You are?
He's a stand-up comedian, Your Honor. A comedian.
Listen to me.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
When you're performing, you're in somebody else's house. You, sir, are in his house. You're in some...
Ma'am.
He has invited guests into his house.
Yes, ma'am. A couple of drunken ones.
That's possible. You weren't playing, sir, in a church. You were playing in a bar. And somebody was behaving badly.
Excuse me.
Don't restaurant. Hey, excuse me. I don't excuse you. Pay attention. Say, you don't have to be a genius to figure this out. You just have to use a little common sense. If somebody is drunk in the audience, then what you do is not to have that escalate into a dangerous situation. As you try for you, for the other patrons, for members of the band, dangerous. If a situation appears to be escalating, then you use good management, not that male macho testosterone that judged about so much lately. You walk off the stage, I've heard, and you approach the owner or the manager, and you say, lady out there heckling me. I just taken a quick break. See what you can do about this lady. There's this, I can't continue to perform. You don't, sir. Because her boyfriend to step up to the mic so that you can do fisticuffs with him. Ask.
No, he invited himself up to the mic.
I know you said, come on up here.
Well.
You know, it's like Dumb and Dumber.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're supposed to be in charge. You're
Sober as
supposed
a
to
judge.
exercise good judgment. And good judgment is not closing down the show because you invite to come up to the stage somebody who is probably drunk because he's with a drunk somebody, according to you.
Well, he charged the stage, so I said, come on, you know.
Lady, you know, Mr. Welton, you keep changing your story. I want to tell you something. You told me your story. You said, I don't from anything. He says, I'm going to come up there, and you said, come on. Dum-dum, back away. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next, Judy.
Excuse me.
It was profane language.
Next judge.
And he wanted someone to go up and introduce him. He said, I'm a very big star and I don't go on. And
I'm never belligerent to an audience. I've been a professional entertainer. I've sold millions of records. I think Judge Judy jumped to conclusions on this, but that's okay. Millions of records. There's a God in heaven, and as sure as he's there, Bernard will get hit because days. Is one of these.
You think she's got a thing for you, Mr. Beaver? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor.
The lady says her favorite waiter is trying to take advantage of her and her husband because they were generous tippers.
Your Honor, there's a lot of kinky things that go on in this world. Now that looking back on it, I think there could have been something there.
You talk faster than the last guy I bought a used car from.
This is Beaver. Step forward, please.
29-year-old executive secretary Michelle Ingebretson is suing waiter Steve Beaver, 39, for 3 unpaid loans. Steve says Michelle and her husband always gave him gifts for giving good service.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 414 on the calendar in the matter of Ingebretson versus Beaver. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mrs. Ingebretson, according to your complaint, you and your husband met the defendant when he was a waiter in a restaurant that you frequented. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And over a period of time, you and your husband made loans to him. In what amount?
Amount of $800, Your Honor.
Is that what you're suing for?
I'm suing for $1,500, Your Honor.
Well, that's the first thing I didn't understand. If you loaned him $800, why are you suing him for $1,500?
Punitive damages.
What's punitive damages?
For all the stress that he has caused my husband.
Everybody's got stress. I have stress. Bird has stress. Everybody has stress. So you loaned him $800. Let's stick to the $800. Why did you make loans to him in the amount of $800?
We trusted him as a friend.
Well, how did you become friends? He was serving you pasta. How did you become friends?
We met him through a restaurant in Santa Ana, and we kept going back because we liked the service that he gave us, and we felt, you know, we could trust him, and we wanted to be friends.
So tell me, you made a series, according to you, of 3 loans to him.
Correct.
Tell me about the loans.
On the first loan, he had called my husband and asked if he can borrow some money. And my husband called me, and we discussed it, and I said, yes, go ahead. And so then I gave my husband my credit card number, and we, you know, wired through a Western Union some money to Mr. Beaver.
So how much did you wire him this time?
$200 plus then the $40 for the wire fee.
Oh, okay. And tell me about the second loan.
Second loan was for $300. He approached us again saying that his car was going to be repossessed because he didn't have the car payment. And so we basically gave him my money and, you know, loaned it to him.
So that's $300. The most interesting one, according to your complaint, is this final loan that you made to him. Tell me about that.
He called us and said, you know, he was being threatened by a loan shark, and his family was being threatened by a loan shark because he had not paid this loan shark back. So we drove all the way down to Newport Beach at a Del Taco, and Mr. Beaver met us there.
Well, how much was this loan to the alleged loan sharks?
$300.
And those are the 3 loans?
That's correct.
Did you ask him back for the money?
We have letters stating we've asked him back, and he said he would pay us when he gets paid, and he has still not paid us back.
Do you have any letter from him acknowledging the loans?
No. We just felt we could trust. We did.
Well, let me see your letters.
The last page is the last demand letter we wrote to him and delivered it, hand-delivered to Stater Brothers.
Okay, Mr. Beaver, let's hear your side of the story.
Your Honor, this fabrication is a wonderful story. It's not exactly at all the way things took place. Joe and Michelle came in as customers. They were turned over to me by another waitress because she didn't feel that she wanted to wait on them. I set about giving them the best service I could. And of course, they enjoyed the service and came back repeatedly. During the course of the 1.5 years that I waited on them, they began to tip me quite graciously. They exorbitant amounts. Often he would not only tip me on the credit card, he would palm me a check or some money on the side saying, this isn't just for, this is just for you. This isn't for your waiter or for your busboy. This amount is just for you. I would arrive at work, gift baskets of balloons and candy and cakes and cookies would arrive. Some of the things I have here, an electronic organizer, a Swatch Olympic collector's watch. When they went to Vegas, they brought me back gifts. I was always very appreciative of all these gifts, but that's exactly what they were, gifts to me. They were for my service to them. Can I show you this here, Your Honor?
I don't know what it is. Tell me what it is first before you...
An umbrella.
An umbrella. I know what an umbrella looks like.
Okay. This arrived in the mail one day. It's, you know, just even at my house, gifts would arrive and things
We're
like
not
that.
talking about a Swatch watch, and we're not talking about a pocket organizer. She's not suing for that. And
Right,
we're not
exactly.
talking about an umbrella. We're talking about 3 separate cash loans, cash amounts of money that were transferred to you, the last one of which was for $300 when they said they met you at a Taco Bell.
Our fabrications. The only time I ever asked to borrow some money from them, I expressed that I did have some car repair to do. I did mention this to them. They both offered to loan it to me, as they had repeatedly said, if you ever need any help with rides or anything like that. In showing friendship, they did say, feel free to ask us. I denied it at the time, said, no, don't worry about it. The next day, I did call Mr. Engelbretson up. I said, sir, you know, can I go ahead and borrow $200 from you? And he said, so certainly. I called him back to verify the receiving of the money. That is true. And at that time, he told me that is a gift from Michelle and I. I said, no, I feel that's too much to ask. I want to go ahead and pay you back on this, my next payday. No, that's a gift from Michelle and I. Don't you worry about it. That's his exact words. One evening, they called me up. They said, why don't we take you out for a beer and a game of pool? I expressed that I didn't feel I wanted to go out without my girlfriend, Sam. They went ahead and said, they said, well, go ahead and bring her along, too. Right from the get-go, when she and Mrs. Engelbretson met, she began to give her just looks like you wouldn't believe. She didn't like her. She was rude to her throughout the evening. I left early. We both left early from the event, feeling very uncomfortable. Went home, I called them up, and I expressed to them that if they wanted to talk to me next time, I was on my way to someplace. Why don't they meet me there? I went and I sat down and I talked with them. I expressed that our friendship had ended because of the way they had treated Sam.
Did that conversation ever take place?
That is incorrect, Your Honor. I didn't like the way she treated Mr. Beaver.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You think she's got a thing for you, Mr. Beaver? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor.
You think that Mr. Engelbretson had a thing for you, too?
And later today,
You didn't feel comfortable, but you let her write it anyway.
Yes, because I told her if she wanted to write it, she had to write it at her own risk.
Did those words ever pass his lips? No, ma'am. Of course not.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Engelbretson says waiter Steve Beaver took advantage of her and her husband by not repaying loans. Steve says he was their favorite waiter and they always gave him gifts.
Did you meet with him at a restaurant, in a public place, where he said to you, I don't think we should be friends anymore?
No.
I don't think, because I don't like the way you treated Sam.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't sound logical to me. Why would you have to meet
We
somebody
met
to
because
tell
I
them
was
that?
on my way someplace, Your Honor, and I told them, and that was our meeting at the Del Taco that she refers to. I did not ask to borrow any money. That was our meeting there. At that time, also, they once again tried to get me to go to work for them, kept trying to get Sam out of the picture, and being naive.
Mr. Beaver.
Being naive.
Common sense. Well, I'm not naive, sir. Common sense does not suggest to me that one person would have to meet to discuss the fact with really virtual strangers that they don't want to be their friend anymore. That could be either accomplished by not taking their telephone calls or with some conversation on the phone. Not a
Not really, Your
sit-down.
Honor. Not in this case. Not in this case. And we were by this time now. You have to remember, this is a year and a half of her coming in and me waiting on them. At this time, it
Just
had
a minute,
become a
you had-
friendship. I think if you'll even question Sam as to there was something more wanted out of this relationship, like for the day that she appeared in the parking lot of where I worked and said, you know, I broke up with Joe now. Why don't you call me someday and we can do lunch? Or how she's now employed by the restaurant shop around the corner from where I work. All of a sudden, she works there right now because I'm working right here.
So
and
you think she's got a thing for you, Mr. Beaver? Just a second. You think she's got a thing for you, Mr. Beaver? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor.
You think that Mr. Engelbretson had a thing for you, too?
Well, you know, Your Honor, there's a lot of kinky things that go on in this world. Now that looking back on it, I think there could have been something there.
You talk faster than the last guy I bought a used car from, Mr. Beaver.
Sorry, Your Honor.
You owe her $840. It's my determination that she's telling me the absolute truth, that she and her husband made these loans to you over a period of time, none of which you paid back. I think you're doing a lot of fast talking, Mr. Beaver. I don't know what you needed the money for.
They gave me a CD stereo player. They gave me clothing. They gave me CDs. They gave me gift certificates. Do I pay them back for all this, too? As a waiter, I accept gratuities.
They're not suing you for that, Mr. Beaver. They're not suing you for all the gifts they gave you. Let me tell you why you're whacked up. Because if what you're telling me, sir, is that you thought that there was something strange in all this,
not
when
to the
somebody... Baloney!
Not to the
If you're a waiter and somebody is palming you checks, in addition to leaving you money on the tip, I could see somebody saying, you gave me really extra special service, here's $5.
No, Your Honor.
Extra.
It wasn't like that at all. They gave me more than $5.
No, just a minute. How much more than $5, Mr. Beaver?
They've given me $100 checks as gratuities.
Okay. So, if somebody is giving you $100 checks and you don't think that they have an ulterior motive involved, right? And then you take that money.
No, I don't. I didn't.
You just think that you are a terrific waiter.
That's right. Can I have my witness speak, Your Honor? Here's somebody who tried to tell me all the way along. Sam told me, she said, something's going on here more than meets the eye.
Mr. Beaver, I'm not interested in Sam. I'm interested in you, sir. I'm interested in you.
Right.
Because if your girlfriend is telling you there's something fishy going on here because they're giving you $100 checks in your hand for serving them a bowl of linguine, then what I'm telling you,
more
sir,
than a bowl of linguine.
whatever it was, and you said to yourself, listen, they're giving it to me.
No.
What am I supposed to do? I'm just going to give it back? I never heard you say, sir, that you took the checks and returned them, or that you took the cash and returned it, right? You never did that.
I never took gratuities because gratuities are what I work for as a waiter. I don't work for free, and when someone hands me something, tells me thank you for the service tonight, we really enjoyed ourselves, you give us wonderful service, that's my job.
And here's an extra $100.
That's right.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $840. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't want to be near him.
She's lying through her teeth because this is the only way she can get close enough to him. They're sick, both her and her husband are sick. You don't get $100 gift baskets, you don't get stereos, you don't get this and that. He said there was something wrong with me. He thought I was jealous. And I'm jealous of this? Look at her.
All of a sudden, a sandwich shop opens right next door, and she's got a job right there. You know, come on, put two and two together. What are we talking about here? I'm being pursued. The calls on the phone. I'm being harassed. I'm being stalked.
I am being Just because you look that way doesn't mean her sexual appetite isn't what it is.
I'm sorry. It's a free world to work anywhere you want.
And now the next case.
Parties on Mitchell versus Witt. Step forward, please.
22-year-old nursing assistant Tina Mitchell wants her ex-boyfriend, Coy Witt, 26, to pay her medical bills after she crashed on his motorcycle. Coy wants Tina to pay for the damages to the bike.
Miss Mitchell, how old are you?
22.
Do you work?
Yes.
What do you work for?
The Adrian Convalescent Center.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a CNA.
What is that?
Certified Nurse's Assistant.
So you're a working 22-year-old adult?
Yes.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 27.
You work?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I do heating and air conditioning.
You were dating or something, had some sort of relationship with him?
Yes.
He has a motorcycle?
Yes.
You got on his motorcycle?
Yes.
Had an accident, right?
Yes.
Was seriously injured?
Yes.
Had a lot of medical bills?
Yes.
You were riding this motorcycle by yourself?
Yes.
You want him to pay your medical bills?
Yes.
You, 27 years old, let her use your motorcycle?
Yes, I did.
She had an accident?
Yes, she did.
You want her to pay for the damage to your motorcycle?
Correct.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You knew I shouldn't have been on that bike. You knew it. And you let me get on it anyway.
You're a big girl. Like a kid in a candy store that wants it and wants it. You keep on telling them no. Finally,
Well,
here, go for it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tina Mitchell wants her ex-boyfriend, Coy Witt, to pay the medical expenses after she crashed his motorcycle. Coy wants her to pay for the motorcycle.
Why do you think he should pay your medical bills?
Because he didn't have insurance on his bike at the time that I had the wreck.
Let us assume we lived in a kinder, gentler time and there was no insurance. Let's talk a little bit here about personal responsibility. Did he force you to get on this motorcycle?
No, ma'am.
Tell me how it came about that you got on the motorcycle.
On our first date, he came to pick me up on his motorcycle, and I made it known to him that, I've always enjoyed bikes. And I told him that, someday I'd like to learn to ride. And he told me that he would be more than glad to help me. And he did a couple times, show me basically what to do. Never really took me out on it, just showed me what to do. On June 2nd, he let me take it out by myself.
What do you mean he let you?
Well, I asked him if I could take his bike, and he said yes.
You, 22 years old, who takes care of the sick and elderly, right, asked him if you could take out his motorcycle by yourself.
Yes.
Continue.
I was out for about 15, 20 minutes, and I was heading back to his home. I was at a four-way stop sign, and somebody started to take off at the same time as I did. I didn't know what to do. I was panicking, and I took off too quickly, hoping to get across the intersection before the other car did. And I don't know if I jumped the bike or what exactly happened. All I know is that the bike fell to the left, and I went to the right. I caught my leg on the kickstand peg underneath the neutral switch, and it shredded my leg open. And I was taken to the hospital from there, where he had told the doctors there and signed the insurance forms, signed everything, claiming responsibility.
Somebody had to claim responsibility, otherwise they wouldn't have taken care of you, right? Right?
Right.
I didn't sign anything, Your Honor.
Your signature is on file on the papers from the doctor.
Well, can I see that?
Right there, it tells that his signature is on file.
Can I see it, please?
I'd like to see them too, Your Honor, to see if that's my signature, if so.
Let me see. Let me just see. Could you? It says, it's typed in, signature on file.
Right, that was from...
It's typed in. Hey, get out of here. Oh. Now, Mr. Witt.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me why you think she should pay for the damage to the bicycle that you let her ride?
Well, I let her ride the bike, and basically I told her if she wanted to ride it, she had to ride it at her own risk.
No, just a minute. Are you trying to tell me, sir, that you said to this gal that you were dating, if you ride this bike, you are riding it at your own risk?
Yes, I did.
Look over here.
Yes, I did.
Not in this life.
No,
Not in this life. Now, you gave her a couple of lessons on this bike.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel perfectly comfortable with her riding it?
No, I still not feel.
Oh, good. You didn't feel comfortable.
But
just a minute. You didn't feel comfortable with her riding the bike, but you let her ride it anyway.
Yes, because I told her if she wanted to ride it, she had to ride it at her own risk.
Did those words ever pass his lips?
No, ma'am.
Of course not.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right, Miss Mitchell, you rode the bike. That's a very foolish thing to do unless you're really thoroughly acquainted with this big thing. I understand it's a big bike, according to both your papers, with no metal around you. Whenever I drive, I like to drive in something with a lot of metal around me. The bigger, the better. So, you were foolish. Cost you $3,000. You, sir, your motorcycle was damaged in the amount, according to you, of $4,800?
Yes, ma'am.
Next time, you don't let somebody ride your bike that you're not particularly comfortable with. Your petition is dismissed. Your counterclaim is dismissed. That's it, sir.
Well, she said she was going to pay for the damages.
Well, I want to tell you something. Mr. Witt, if you are in possession of a vehicle like a motorcycle, which is really a dangerous instrument in the hands of somebody that doesn't know how to use it properly, and you allow them to use it, you assume the risk that if they hurt themselves or damage your bike, you may be responsible. In this case, I find that she was an adult and she assumed the risk of her own injuries.
It's fine.
Right? But you, sir, are assuming the $4,800 loss or damage to your bicycle because you both acted like idiots. That's all.
Yeah.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I have to deal with this for the rest of my life because of him. Because he wasn't man enough to tell me, no, Tina, you can't go out on that bike. It's too big for you. I had a helmet on, yes.
Because I made her put it on.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I ain't that stupid.
Obviously, you got on the bike at your own risk to ride it.
It's him being a pathetic mama's boy.
फोटो में जैसा देखा रियल में भी वैसी तू प्यार तो हुआ तुझसे बोल अब मैं क्या करूँ क्लोज तो आई तो फिर ऐसे कैसे जाने दूँ बातें तो हुआ शुरू करते बेबी कंटिन्यू बातों से ज्यादा तू तो करती मुझे इशारा नजर से तेरा ये पागल हुआ बेचारा छूने का तुझे खाली लाइसेंस है हमारा घर के नीचे तेरा सेट किया पहारा फोटो तो खींचना है तो आजा मेरा स्टूडियो लेंस से ज्यादा तेरा आंखों में है जादू फ्लैश तो ऑन करके खींच दूं मैं शटर देखने में लग रही तू तो लुक लाइक बटर क्लास में होती तू तो हार्ड सेल टॉपर गाड़ी से ज्यादा हम तो बाइक में किया सफर थोड़ा तो पोज देते हाथ में मेरा कैमरा बिकॉज आई एम योर फोटोग्राफर बाइक से ज्यादा तेरी पसंद वाली ऑडी कर आई एम सो लकी क्योंकि मिली मुझे बेबी कर आईएसओ सेट नहीं रखूंगा मैं ऑटो पर प्यार से ज्यादा मेरा नजर तेरी फोटो पर फोटो से ज्यादा ट्यूटोरियल में करती ब्लास मिलेगा नंबर तुझे माइनस नहीं प्लस प्यार में दिल देखना नहीं क्लास खींच दूं मैं फोटो तेरी आउट ऑफ फ्लैश मैचिंग तो हाइट है चेहरा तो ब्राइट है ड्रेस में एकदम तू तो लगी सो साइट है फोटो में खींच दूं तेरी होगा ना लेने देरी फोटो तो खींचने के लिए बहुत सारी लाइट है धूप से बचने के लिए बनूंगा मैं ट्री बिजी तो रहना नहीं थोड़ा हो जा फ्री फोटो तो खींचने के लिए बेस्ट है मेरा कैमरा क्योंकि आई एम यूजिंग सोनी अल्फा 3 आंखें तो रुका मेरा देख के तेरा ऑफर कार से ज्यादा हम तो बाइक में किया सफर तेरे साथ खड़ा हूँ पर हाथ में लेके कैमरा बिकॉज आई एम योर फोटोग्राफर फोटो में जैसा देखा रियल में भी वैसी तू प्यार तो हुआ तुझसे बोल अब मैं क्या करूँ क्लोज तो आई तो फिर ऐसे कैसे जाने दूँ बातें तो हुआ शुरू करते बेबी कंटिन्यू बातों से ज्यादा तू तो करती मुझे इशारा नजर से तेरा ये पागल हुआ बेचारा छूने का तुझे खाली लाइसेंस है हमारा घर के नीचे तेरा सेट किया पहारा फोटो तो खींचना है तो आजा मेरा स्टूडियो लेंस से ज्यादा तेरा आंखों में है जादू फ्लैश तो ऑन करके खींच दूं मैं शटर देखने में लग रही तू तो लुक लाइक बटर क्लास में होती तू तो हार्ड सेल टॉपर गाड़ी से ज्यादा हम तो बाइक में किया सफर थोड़ा तो पोज देते हाथ में मेरा कैमरा बिकॉज आई एम योर फोटोग्राफर बाइक से ज्यादा तेरी पसंद वाली ऑडी कर आई एम सो लकी क्योंकि मिली मुझे बेबी कर आईएसओ सेट नहीं रखूंगा मैं ऑटो पर प्यार से ज्यादा मेरा नजर तेरी फोटो पर फोटो से ज्यादा ट्यूटोरियल में करती ब्लास मिलेगा नंबर तुझे माइनस नहीं प्लस प्यार में दिल देखना नहीं क्लास खींच दूं मैं फोटो तेरी आउट ऑफ फ्लैश मैचिंग तो हाइट है चेहरा तो ब्राइट है ड्रेस में एकदम तू तो लगी सो साइट है फोटो में खींच दूं तेरी होगा ना लेने देरी फोटो तो खींचने के लिए बहुत सारी लाइट है धूप से बचने के लिए बनूंगा मैं ट्री बिजी तो रहना नहीं थोड़ा हो जा फ्री फोटो तो खींचने के लिए बेस्ट है मेरा कैमरा क्योंकि आई एम यूजिंग सोनी अल्फा 3 आंखें तो रुका मेरा देख के तेरा ऑफर कार से ज्यादा हम तो बाइक में किया सफर तेरे साथ खड़ा हूँ पर हाथ में लेके कैमरा बिकॉज आई एम योर फोटोग्राफर